Hey, have you guys ever heard of Patreon?
I think I have.
Yeah, I think it's like a royal guard.
It's that maybe, but also it's a website where podcasters and other creators can get people to give them money for making their product.
You mean we can get paid for this?
Kind of. For a mere $3 a month, you, loyal listener, can feed or get drunk a starving podcaster.
I feel like we need some like Sarah McLachlan behind this kind of. I will remember you.
I almost did with arms wide open. I was like, that's not the song.
That's how you get people to not give you money.
So check it out. Patreon.com/worstpeople. That's WORSE. $3 a month. You get access to exclusive episodes. Find us, love us, support us. Thank you. Welcome back. And this week, you fed that lizard what? I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
I'm Bleep.
And this is Bad Movies,
Worst People.
Welcome back, everybody. We're Motorcycles, and this is Stone Cold from 1991.
The Stone Cold. Been mentioned on the podcast. Been loved before verbally.
And for
Yes.
people like me, not Stone Cold Steve Austin, but the Boz, Brian.
And also not Stone Cold with Tom Selleck, which is a thing.
Yes, that's also a thing because he's Jesse Stone.
Yeah. So don't watch that.
Don't watch that.
Or
Probably.
you do, but watch this first so you can enjoy this episode.
So this movie came out in 1991. Oh, I have to mention before I get to that, we have a guest back in the studio, as you heard at the beginning.
Welcome back,
Mr.
Bleep.
Bleep.
Well, golf
Yeah,
clap.
glad to be
Golf
back. Glad
clap.
to be back.
I
You don't
tried.
know how to golf clap.
I tried and I dropped my phone.
You have an armrest to put things on.
You're an armrest.
That's what she's
Apparently I
talking
am.
about.
Yeah, I got to listen to the Blind Fury episode. That was fun. So
Oh, that was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
There's a guy in this movie that was in Blind Fury.
Who was he? T-shirt?
In Blind Fury, he was drug dealer, and in
Okay.
this, he is Italian number 2, I think.
Oh yeah, one the table. I wouldn't know which one.
One of the ones that they use a word that we can't use to describe.
If I was Italian, I'd use it,
Yeah,
but I'm not.
You know who is?
You know, there's a song
just say
out
it
there.
rhymes with drop.
There's a song out there with the same exact name, but
Yes.
spelled differently.
Yes,
Who sings Wet Ass Pussy?
Everyone listening
Cardi B.
knows.
yeah.
Cardi B?
I can't. Yeah, so you can't say that.
That's what we're trying to get around.
Anyway, this movie came out in 1991. It made $0. No, it made $9.1 million.
Yeah. On what budget?
$17 million.
That
I
was
mean, that's kind of a low budget, though.
Yeah.
Still.
Oh, yeah. Still a low budget.
especially
I mean,
for the bada booms.
We just, I mean, every 15 minutes, one of us was just gushing, like, look at this explosion. Look at these
presumably
fucking stunts.
Brian Bosworth got a decent amount of money, even though he wasn't an actor. But his career had just ended as a football
He
player.
was barely a
so-
football player.
yeah,
Yeah, he got
lasted
3
for like, what?
seasons for the Seahawks.
Seahawks, yeah, but he was known for his antics and stuff. Like, I remember at one point he had his helmet off, and like pre-game he was headbutting a sign or something and started bleeding, and he couldn't play the game. Like, kind of, he was a rock and roll football player, more rock and roll than football. He was great in college, didn't translate to pros. It happens, but he still made a name for himself.
She commented on his haircut, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, he was famous for that haircut."
Yeah.
That's why the bike has the skull
Yeah.
with the same haircut.
Well, that's why his jacket also has a skunk.
Yeah, dude, that jacket. Oh man, I love that jacket.
But this movie is rated R,
Oh,
as
yes,
you'll
it is.
see.
Oh, yes, it is.
if for nothing else, for the copious amounts of nipples.
2 of Bleep's favorite things are in this movie, and they're both breasts.
I prefer the biker ones to the tit for tat ones.
Oh, you like those big flappy nostrils?
I love, yes.
Well, the stripper boobs were all stripper
were
boobs.
tiny.
and
There's
then,
a set of- there's
that
2
girl playing pool.
Yeah.
was just ready to knock someone out.
Before we walk into that building, though, there are two chicks showering.
The outdoor shower.
Outdoor shower.
it.
Yeah.
I need this in my life. Dude.
Yes.
It might be
There's
my
a third one. We
tits,
were
but-
wondering how they looked.
Yeah.
You know, but she
yeah.
was
Why'd you
turning-
keep them off camera? I want to see all the tits.
But this was originally directed by Bruce Malmuth, who had just directed Hard to Kill with Steven Seagal. He also directed one episode of the show none of us have watched, but every character we've seen is in, Beauty and the Beast.
Wait, what do you mean no one's watched that?
None of us have watched it, have
do you
we?
mean?
Did you watch
You
it?
watched
We
it?
watched the first
watched it.
episode.
Yeah, okay.
Loved it.
He-
we have a lot of shit to catch up on still.
Bruce Malmuth also played the announcer in Karate Kid 1 and 2.
Okay, I know exactly who he
So
is.
now you know who you're talking about.
I know
right?
exactly who he is.
But it was taken over by Craig R. Baxley, who is an action movie director.
Did you catch the name of the stunt coordinator?
I did not.
Same last name.
Oh, okay.
He was Baxley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it must obviously related because Craig Baxley was a stunt coordinator also,
Okay.
aside from being a director.
I had to look it up because these stunts are just out of this world bonkers.
Oh, actually, I do have a note here. I didn't have for this movie, so I didn't realize, but his dad, his cousin, his son, and his grandson are all stuntmen or stunt coordinators and second unit directors.
Okay. So
So
maybe
it
not
was either
brothers.
his dad or his cousin.
Yeah.
Didn't we watch a
Could be
movie?
the same guy.
It was Quantum Leap. We watched where
It's
it
not a
was
movie.
like an episode where it was a father and two sons that were stuntmen.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a real thing. Like your dad's a stuntman, you grow up, you're like, I don't know, I guess that's what I'm
The
gonna
beginning of Ghost Rider, you've seen it 1,000 times.
Have
Not
I?
that movie. Just this trope.
do. But he directed Action Jackson with the recently passed Carl Weathers.
Rest
Rest in pictures,
Yes.
buddy.
He directed Dark Angel with Dolph Lundgren. He directed most episodes of that show Kingdom Hospital. I don't know if anybody here but me watched that.
Don't know it.
It was ABC, I think, maybe CBS. I don't know, one of them their networks. It was a Stephen King show that was kind of like that show they did later. I don't remember what it's called. Doesn't matter. Where like they take ideas of Stephen King stuff. It's just spooky stories. It's like an anthology thing.
Okay.
But
I don't
this
think
all
I know
took
that
place in Kingdom Hospital. All took place in this hospital, and it was just each episode was a different spooky story.
Sounds spoopy.
It was spoopy. But he did stunts for a bunch of shit too, like I said, and he was in like stuff that we've seen or will be watching. He was in the Omega Man with
Heston?
Charlton Heston, yeah.
We
and
just watched
and he
him in
did stunts
something.
in Planet of the Apes, so I'm wondering if he was doing stunts for Heston.
Yeah. Like you got a look-alike or a smell-alike?
Yeah, and he was in Rollerball and
know
the
why that
Warriors. So
Wonka smell-o-vision.
Oh, it's coming.
Something's coming.
I hope I don't smell it.
he was also the stunt coordinator on all 97 episodes of the A-Team.
Oh, wow.
So you watch this and you're like, okay, I get it.
Yep. Checks
what
out.
he was doing.
Checks out.
I know why you were hired. The guy who wrote this movie, though, is interesting. Walter Doniger. He's been writing here. He was writing movies and TV all the way back to the early 40s.
I was gonna say, like, besides this, the only thing I caught from him was like just this ancient stuff from way back when they were called talkies.
And it was all like the stuff he was known for writing was like light romantic comedy type stuff.
well,
and
this is light on romance.
and this was his final script.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, and he died 20 years later. It's not like he wrote this and then died. Like he's like, fuck the world. I'm writing this on my way out.
That's what a way to go. I mean, talk about like final last words. Just watch Stone Cold.
So anyway, we'll get to the movie. That's the background.
Let's get to some of this cast because
It's a banger cast.
I think this cast is also what saves it in a lot of parts. There's a couple qualms I have with casting, but there's a bunch I don't.
Well, it's got two of my favorite people from the genre pictures of the 80s and 70s, really.
And some welcome backs.
And yes, they've both been on here before. We've got Lance Henriksen and we've got William Forsythe.
Yeah.
Who are two of my
yeah.
favorites.
Lance Henriksen, I like to refer to lovingly as the devil.
Who were also in a previous movie together. They were in Savage Dawn, which
Yeah.
me and Patrick did way back in the day. And you can get in our archive on our Patreon page at patreon.com/worstpeople.
That was well done.
We also have Sam McMurray.
Yes, Sam McMurray. He was in
He's the partner.
Wizard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Welcome
Raising
back.
Arizona.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Raising
Chud,
Arizona.
Raising Arizona. Future episode, Getting Even with Dad,
Okay.
which we will get to at some point.
Christmas Vacation. He's the
yeah.
buddy at work that's
He's a-
talking about the pool with
the last true
Clark.
family man, Clark.
Yeah.
So he's been in a bunch of shit, but he's been on the show before too. So this is basically just an episode of Welcome Back.
Yes.
Welcome back.
So the movie starts as Cobra does with a grocery store robbery.
Yep, but this sets the tone a little bit better, I think.
Yes, because this is fucking hilarious.
I mean, dude, the main thug is just his buddy's wildly firing his fully automatic weapon into potato chips, and this guy just screams, I fucking love it!
By the way, this sweaty tweaker with the ponytail,
Uh-huh.
the head writer for Growing Pains.
Oh, damn.
Weird as fuck fact.
Yeah, he told me that. I was like,
That is super fucking strange.
But
now
yeah,
I
so
know
they're-
this.
They're holding up this grocery store, and the boss comes strolling in with his glorious mullet.
And the sexiest jacket. This isn't the one with the skunk hair, mind you. This is like a snake skin. Like, he killed an anaconda to make this fucking duster.
I think
it's
so.
all made from one
A
snake.
couple of them, because he's not a small dude.
No, it's
when
one
he's
big-
riding
it's-
this large bike later, it looks like he's riding a children's tricycle.
It really
Throughout this movie, he's fucking riding. Like,
Yeah.
it's him. It's
Yeah.
boss.
This is his bike.
Yeah.
He built this bike.
That makes perfect sense. He should have built it a little bit bigger.
He did have I don't know if it was someone on set or somebody add the airbrushing of the skull with the mullet because he didn't have that on there. He wasn't that into himself, I guess.
I might want to shave the mullet one day. Nope, it's on your bike.
Gotta keep it forever.
And I didn't really notice in the
Forever.
movie. I guess he's squinting a lot and he's got sunglasses on, but I watched some behind the scenes interviews. This guy has the craziest blue eyes.
Oh, they're
Oh, yeah.
piercing steel blue.
Yeah, you need a map. So you don't get lost in them.
Yes, it's like the Puerto Rican seas or the ocean.
Yeah, Puerto Rican Sea sounds pretty good. Also, it could be a band.
Or they're talking like a pirate. Or the Puerto Rican Sea.
Are bluer than the waters of Puerto Rico.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
But yeah, he just comes strolling into the grocery store as if he doesn't know a robbery is happening and starts shopping.
A box of crackers and a bundle of bananas.
He's got to stay trim or huge.
Well, he's getting stuff for his lizard that we'll meet later in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, he even eats a cookie, and that's
Yeah,
when.
just steals a cookie out
Yeah.
of the...
Well, I think he was just sampling there.
Yeah.
But homeboy puts a fucking gun to his face, shotgun barrel, and he's like, "Well, I'll pay for the thing, man."
Yeah, I'll pay for the damn cookie.
Jesus Christ.
And
And
then
he-
an awesome maneuver.
He pops that gun out of the way right before this guy shoots him. This guy was going to blow his fucking head off.
Yeah. Good action right off the bat.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And now you got the second guy tasked to go like, hey, why isn't our guy calling back to us? Go see. And how does he get this guy? Oh, he just wraps him with
He's-
something.
Throwing cans over the...
That's for the third guy.
Oh.
This is
He
the
comes
this is the
around the
black guy
corner-
that's going aisle by aisle.
He bats him with the shotgun.
yeah. He
Oh, yeah,
swings
okay.
that shotgun like a freaking shillelagh.
Yeah, because it's down low and up high.
And yeah, so he picks them all off, and he gets the last guy by throwing a can to make him think he's in a different
We
aisle.
gotta talk about the poor girl with the headgear. What is this?
Oh,
God.
Like I know it's needed, but come on.
Why did you have to...
he calls her tinsel teeth.
Did
That's
this
just
girl...
rude.
Yeah, that made me wonder, did this girl have headgear and that guy's just an asshole? Because
Oh,
most of
probably.
the script is improvised. There weren't very many words written.
I was gonna say
Or-
I have a quote from Forsythe that says script. I don't even think we had a script. And it goes on to say that we didn't use any words written. We made it up on set. And Lance Henriksen speaks to that.
Yeah.
Where he talked to the new director coming in. He's like, look, I know I might get fired for this, but we can't use anything that this guy wrote. It's all biblical, like taken out of the Bible quotes. And no one's gonna fucking believe me.
Yeah, it's like the way
Yeah.
they were supposed to, especially I think Ice was supposed, which is William Forsythe, was supposed to talk in all like Bible quotes. I'm like, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
He did good. He did good with
No,
it.
that was somebody else's job. And he did a much better job.
The original story, the original movie was going to be called Heart of Stone, and it had a different. So instead of the Boz being like a loner, like whatever guy, he had a wife and a kid and family and stuff. And the way that they showed that he was willing to leave his family to do this was that his dad had been killed by this. He had gone undercover and been killed by this same motorcycle gang. So when they asked him to do it, he's like, I'll get revenge for my dad. And Brian Bosworth sticks to his guns that he thinks that would have been a better movie and it would have been more successful. I think that would have made this not as memorable.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been trash.
I don't know in what world you're going to make this successful without a huge star playing Bosworth.
Yeah, and it's not... I don't know. I mean, it didn't make a lot of money in the theaters, but I'm sure it made a lot of money on VHS. I don't... those numbers aren't out there, but...
And we kind of went through it last night. It's hard to recast him because it can't be... You're not putting Sly
No.
in this movie and accepting him as a fucking dirty biker. You're just
No.
not doing that. Van Damme, get out of here. Steven Seagal, stay in Russia. Like, who is going to do this? And there is no real answer for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I don't think this would have been theatrical.
Wesley Snipes. Oh, no, not the Brotherhood.
I would,
Not the Brotherhood.
I would love to have seen that. This would have been a much different movie. It's just an hour and a half of him kicking white dudes' asses. All right, I'm back.
But
in.
it starts out like what the scene from Blazing Saddles, where was it Cleavon Little is wearing the fucking hood? You know, where the white women at?
That's the beginning of the movie.
But like, I think that's the only reason this movie was theatrical is because people were like, they were banking off of Brian Bosworth's name maybe selling the movie.
Yeah, I mean, he was a big personality at this point, like magazines and whatnot, a lot of radio shows, so maybe.
Yeah.
But like, otherwise, this would have been straight to VHS, like a lot of the things that we cover on this.
Yeah.
Video Store Treasures. That would have been a good name for it, the podcast.
And this is a fucking treasure.
It is.
So yeah, the last guy goes... What is he shoots the cans out? No, the guy goes running. Something spilled on the ground. It's when he shot up all the end cap. One of the other guys did. And this main guy goes running and slips in all this spilled soda and just... This guy beefs it so hard into this pile of fucking Coke cans.
I'm not mad at the physics, but I don't understand them.
He slipped like a cartoon character. He slips, his feet are above his head, and he flies 10 feet away and lands at this pile of cans.
I can attest. I have worn some shoes in the brewery that I should not have worn, even though they say slip resistant, and they're not. And walking behind one of the fucking fermenters, 3 times, different fucking months, I hit one specific spot, and I literally leg goes up, head cocks, and slams on the concrete. Good thing my hair's always in a bun.
At least you didn't fly forward though and go ass first into glass.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would only be similar if you slipped and then flew across the back of the brewery into the pile of cans waiting to be filled.
Again, not complaining. Great fucking stunt.
Now, if there's a camera in the back and that ever happens,
we're gonna need that footage.
All right, if it ever happens again,
we're gonna need that footage.
I've learned my lesson, but for you guys.
And the cops arrive, and we find out that Boz, whose character's name is Joe Huff, and then he goes under John Stone, hence the Stone Cold.
Yeah, you can actually just ignore the Huff from pretty much here on out till one point.
Yeah, till the very end, and then but pretty much we're just gonna call him the Boz, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he earned that name, right?
Yeah,
but
he put in his time in that Bosness.
They come in and they're like, "What are you doing here? Don't you know you're still suspended?" And I'm just waiting for him to say like,
I was shopping.
I was just grocery shopping, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, but
setting tones.
Yes, he gets, and I don't. Is this where this came from? He's like, tell him they've got a cleanup on aisle 4, and throws the shotgun to one of the cops and just walks out.
I mean, it can't be the first, but it's early, right?
It's got to be, because I was like, he said that, and I was like, maybe that's where like all these people are getting it from, and they just don't know.
Yeah, they don't want to admit they saw Stone Cold in '91.
Well, they should.
They should. No, you should admit it in 2020.
Wait, it's 2024.
No, but we already missed our window to admit it. You can't admit it now.
Oh,
you had
okay.
1 year.
We didn't watch this movie.
We all got together and collectively decided that was the year.
So then we cut to a bike rally, which I think is the same rally that we end up cutting back to in about 5 minutes, but they're cutting it out of order just so we can meet the bikers. And we don't really meet anybody. We just see that they're party animals, right? And there's these 2 guys. It's William Forsythe and this other guy.
I'll tell you, the actor, the character's name is Mudfish.
Mudfish. I think the actor's name is Robert Winley. Mm-hmm. I didn't write it down, but he is also in Terminator 2. He is
the biker that gets
give me your clothes, your boots, and your bike.
Yeah.
Or in your motorcycle.
That's why his profile picture was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's his
we were
profile
looking it
pic.
up, and I was like, Arnold's
He
not
looks
in this
a lot
fucking
like
movie.
little Arnold.
And it's a shirtless Arnold, a naked Arnold getting his clothes off of Mudfish.
Yeah, I was watching this and I was like, I swear to God, I know this guy. And like I went and looked it up, and it just says, you know, in the credits on this, it just says Mudfish. You click it and it's like, okay, Terminator, but it just says biker or something.
Yeah.
So I found the clip and I took a screenshot and I was like, I showed her, I was like, that's him right there. It's Arnold taking his clothes off of him right before he puts his face on that grill. Yeah.
I mean, not the worst thing to happen to him, because I mean, this is a dangerous game he's playing here with his friends.
He does not. This does not end well for him.
It's like the William Overture. William Tell with he shot the apple off his son's head.
Yeah.
Except it's a little different.
Yeah, they're trying to shoot a beer can. He's trying to shoot a beer can off William Forsythe's shoulder. Which, first of all, fuck you. And he keeps missing, so extra fuck you.
And because you missed,
and there's a bunch of people behind him and around him. Like, who is he hitting at this point?
No one. He's that good at being bad.
Oh, okay.
He's a stormtrooper. He can't hit anything.
But so instead of, you know, your buddy who's shooting at you missing, you're like, well, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to put the beer can on my fucking head.
Yeah, I'm going to put it on top of my head. Now shoot it off. No. Although there's less of a chance of you getting shot in the head if the can's on top of your head, because there's most of the area around the can is empty.
I'd say you get a 50-50
When
chance
it's on
of
his
getting shot in the
shoulder,
head.
it's like
Yeah.
most like the half of it is
If you
his
miss,
head.
you're hitting
I'm-
flesh.
Alright.
Almost
I'm gonna
guaranteed.
say, check out our Patreon, The Quick and the Ugly.
Quick and the Dead.
Quick and the Dead.
Who was ugly in that movie? No one was ugly in that movie.
Not ugly enough. Well,
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know about Commissioner
Dog.
Gordon.
Oh, Christian
Pat
Gordon.
Hingle. There we go.
And the guy,
And
oh,
the fucking
Saw
prison guy.
Oh, Tobin Bell.
and
Yeah.
Mark Booth Jr. is disgusting.
Mark Boone Jr.
Mark Boone as well. Both of them.
I'd make out with Mark Boone
Both of
Jr.
The both of them.
But the rest of those people are gorgeous. So,
He ain't wrong.
but yeah, so it's a big biker party, and then we have this thing that's kind of dropped. Like it's like the impetus for the entire movie, but they never explain why.
Why
this
is he
biker trouble shoots this priest who is performing a wedding. He walks into these people's wedding.
No, he did a baptism.
Or is it
A
baptism?
baptism.
He walks in and he's just like, "What's up?" And he doesn't say anything in this movie. So he doesn't say anything, but he just pulls up the gun and just blows this priest away.
So at one point later in the movie, the TV, like a news report, does say the Brotherhood is responsible for a couple things. They took out 3 religious leaders.
Yeah.
And this guy got caught. So they're just making his. They hate religion.
Hey, well,
Okay.
maybe they got tiddled by him.
Maybe. Or they're just saying fuck all authority that's not ours, because it's kind of what they're doing.
Pretty much.
they just added that in after they read the script. They're like, "I'm not doing Bible quotes, and as a matter of fact, I'm killing priests."
Yep.
That was
I mean, that's part of the original script was killing priests. That just remained.
Okay, because that never really gets explained why they were doing that. Because they're definitely busy with like overthrowing governments and selling drugs. I don't
Yeah.
know what the religion has to do with that, other than I guess overthrowing governments.
Yeah. we're an oligarchy disguised as a democratic nation. Go on.
So he gets 45 years,
Yours.
45 years without parole, and they're not happy about that. So William Forsythe, this is what 4 minutes into the movie,
Uh-huh.
blows this priest up
Big time.
Just this guy's getting in his boat.
No, the judge. It's
The
the
judge.
judge.
or
that
judge.
sentenced him.
Sorry, yes, the
the
judge.
one that sentenced trouble.
That's I knew what I meant.
Yeah.
Judge, priest. We
Yeah.
just covered this, all right?
They're both really cool nicknames in Blade 2. It's fine.
Also in Buffy.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, Brian Thompson plays the judge,
Oh, yeah.
and he's a blue vampire or something.
Go on.
Anyway.
No, don't.
But yeah, he's getting into his little fishing boat because he lives on a lake because he's a judge.
Shit, his
and
fucking
he's not
backyard
crooked.
is a lake.
Yeah.
His
Yep.
backyard has a dock to fishing.
He's
Fuck
definitely
you.
not crooked.
He's
It's
got
fine.
fuck you money.
It
And
was his pappies.
he goes to start up his
Not making it
boat,
better?
Kablooey.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's a
Kablooey
good
doesn't
way
do
to
it
set
justice, though. It's
No,
fucking
it's-
huge.
the big
Huge.
bada boom.
Big bada boom.
And
Well,
Forsythe
for
is
this
sitting,
movie, medium bada boom.
Yeah.
Forsythe is sitting on his bike across the lake and just like salutes and laughs and takes off.
Shirtless. Well, under shirtless. He's got a vest on and smoking a cigar.
He's
I
always
just
got his
love
colors
William
on.
Forsythe because he just embraces this like biker thing because he's done it in so many movies. And here he's just chilling with his vest and no shirt, and he's just got his beer gut hanging out. And he
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck.
Like, he's not necessarily in shape, you know. He's just a big, thick biker, and he's letting it all hang out.
yeah.
Yeah, he is.
William Forsythe, gonna let it all hang out.
Oh, he was in Raising Arizona with McMurray too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he was John Goodman's pal.
William Forsythe was also in Raising Arizona. He's also in another movie we're going to be covering. This
Stone Cold 2? Just kidding. Everybody I love is dead.
Shitbird month. I can't remember what we were calling it. Back to School month.
Mm-hmm,
A movie called Cloak and Dagger that has Elliot from E.T.
Okay.
doing spy stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
So he was in that. He's also in Dick Tracy, of course.
Yep.
Out for Justice. Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
I think, isn't he also the cop in Deuce Bigelow?
Yeah,
The
that's
one
how
that
I
keeps
remember
showing
him.
his dick.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in The Rock also.
Uh-huh.
So he's in a lot of shit. William Forsythe's awesome.
Yes, he is.
I don't remember a cop showing his dick in Deuce Bigelow.
What do you think of this?
I remember the plunger and the fish.
His whole thing was that his dick is thin, not small. If you bent it at the end to be a kickstand for a bike.
And his wife had been with Deuce. Is that why?
Yes,
he was
they.
really
Well, if you
targeting
remember the
him?
plot of that movie, Deuce
don't.
never slept with anybody.
Never, ever,
Oh,
ever.
okay.
That's a huge bitch.
But
Someone say steak.
but his wife was hiring prostitutes. So
I don't think I ever saw that movie in full.
I'm not gonna defend it. I'm just gonna say at the time I watched it, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think at that point I was already done with Rob Schneider, and that was like his second or third starring role.
Oh, what about when he was a stapler?
What?
It's a South Park joke.
Okay.
You know, from
Rob
because of the
Schneider
animal
is a
and stuff.
Stabler.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he'll do anything
Yeah,
except
exactly.
vaccinate. I think that's true.
He'll do anything except sell tickets to his fucking shows.
Yeah.
Dude, his daughter used to go to like all the bars when she was 16 to try and get to sing, and he would go in behind her and be
Oh,
like,
that's right. It's El King.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
I fucking
X's
love
and
her.
O's. She's a musician with. She's got. She's actually pretty fucking talented.
I know X's and O's. I thought
She's
that
a
was
big
someone
girl,
else.
and I love her, and I want her in my life.
I thought that was like Taylor Swift or somebody.
You wish.
I don't know pop music.
Apparently not.
I'm too old for that.
Our daughter loved that song.
I know the song. I've also heard the ska cover.
Of course you have.
Go on.
It's played at work.
Real Big Fish does it. Do you still want to hear it?
No, it's not Real Big Fish. It might be Interrupters. I know they did Bad Girl or Mean Girl or
Bad girl.
Bad
Come
Girl.
on. Come on.
Billie
you know it.
Eilish
Come
one.
on. You know it. Come on.
I know the song. I couldn't remember the name of it. Anyway,
Isn't it Bad Guy?
Bad Guy. That's what it is.
All right.
Fuck both of you.
All right. Sorry, I take back
It
all
is
that
Bad
shade I was
Guy. It
throwing
is
at
Bad
you.
Guy. And the Interrupters version is in the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway,
Continue.
then we cut back to Mr. Boz making the shake that was referenced at the beginning of this movie as what the fuck did you just feed that
Can
lizard?
I tell you what's in this shake?
Sorry, at the beginning of this podcast. Go ahead.
Yeah. You got orange juice,
Okay.
a Snickers bar,
Oh.
followed by another Snickers bar,
Oh, that's too many Snickers.
followed by one raw egg.
You forgot the potato chips.
Oh, that's right. It was. I think they were seasoned potato chips too, ruffled. I do remember
No,
that.
I don't think they're Ruffles. I think they're Lay's. You can't have just one in your shake.
But they had ruffles.
Ruffles have ridges.
Ruffles have ridges.
I can't even do that.
Anyway,
Okay, so ruffles, a banana, 2 raw eggs, and don't forget to top it off with some Tabasco.
And the eggs, shell included.
yes, shell
Yes.
included.
And the eggs in the shell with the banana looks like quite a cock
yes,
right on
it
the
did.
top. of it, too.
Yes, it did.
and he blends this up.
And you're
And-
thinking it's for him.
And he's
I
like,
mean,
"Hey,
this
Fido."
is totally like beginning of Rocky or something. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, he's drinking this. This is his breakfast.
Peter Weller in Shakedown.
Or Charlie Sheen in
Men at Work.
Men at Work.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen a couple
Chong
disgusting
in
shakes.
Up in Smoke. Maybe.
Chong and Up in Smoke. Absolutely.
But he calls in Fido, who is his monitor lizard.
Which I have to imagine is Boz. It's like his lizard.
No, so on his behind the scenes interview, he was like, they said they added like I have a pet lizard, and he's like, I was thinking like a lizard, and he puts his hand like a foot apart. Good God, guys, we're recording a podcast here. Learn how to speak.
Be professional.
And then he's like, then I walked in, and there's a fucking dragon,
It's a big fucking monitor lizard.
and there's a fun story. So they fed this dragon this fucking shake. I don't know if it's the exact shake because that blender did not turn that shake into what we saw. I
No.
have a blender. I
No.
use a blender often. It takes a lot more work to turn that into something like that.
Did it say no animals are harmed at the end of
It
this
did
movie?
say no animals
so
were
then
harmed.
they didn't feed it that fucking shake.
But they fed it something it shouldn't have eaten because apparently they went outside after they were shooting and they were in the alley and Boz was standing behind the lizard and the lizard lifted its tail.
Oh, no.
And the handler came over and like pulled him out of the way and he's like, when that tail lifts, you move. And that thing just sprayed shit.
Oh. Do they have a video of this?
Special features,
Yeah,
please.
can I pay money for this?
But he looked really comfortable with this
Yeah,
lizard.
they were hugging.
Yeah.
I think that's why I thought it was his. I'm like, hey, he's got a rapport with this animal.
Well, he seems
This
like the kind of guy
lizard's-
who would have a giant lizard.
also that.
So in the
Named
movie,
Fido.
his real name, Vido's real name is MZU.
Oh, we made fun of that in the
Mzu.
credits, but we didn't
Oh,
know.
okay, yeah.
We didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like, maybe
Fido
it
was played by Mizzou or Zoo.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
I
Mizu.
don't either. Mizu horny.
I was just thinking that. Get out of my teeth.
And
Sometimes we finish each other's.
Sandwiches.
nobody finishes Jack's sandwich.
No.
You better not try.
There's never any leftovers.
There's never any.
So then the FBI comes to his apartment, and I think this is supposed to be a nice apartment, but it looks like an abandoned building that they just put a couch and
This
stuff
is
in.
that
But
80s cocaine art.
it kind of looks like, speaking of Peter Weller and Shakedown, it kind of looks like his apartment, but with
A
less
little bit.
stuff on the walls.
That's 80s cocaine art.
As you folks know, we like to have a beer or three while we podcast, and sometimes that leads to a not so pleasant morning after, unless we remember to hydrate, people. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, and it's now available in sugar-free with a proprietary zero sugar solution that has no artificial sweeteners. I love using Liquid IV because it comes in convenient little packets you can take with you, makes me feel rejuvenated and hydrated, and best of all, it actually tastes good. Just one packet of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than just water alone, thanks to the 8 vitamins and nutrients it has, and it has 3 times the electrolytes of those other sports drinks. We love Liquid IV so much that we're offering you, our loyal listeners, a steal of a deal. Get 20% off when you grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier, sugar-free, or any other variant at liquidiv.com and use the code WORSTPEOPLE at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code WORSTPEOPLE at liquidiv.com.
Sharks of the Corn? Virus shark? Cocaine shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
That might explain a lot about why this 70-year-old man suddenly wrote this crazy action movie script. Because he's like 70 and he's like, wait, what's cocaine?
I've never tried this substance. Let's give it a shot.
I don't have long left. Let me try this. I'm going to write a fucking story.
What a time to get into coke.
For reals.
Hey, he made it 20 more years, so he either stopped or he had a great heart. And this is Sam McMurray playing Lance, which is nice and confusing when I'm trying to take notes. I was like, wait, and I got to write Sam McMurray every time instead of Lance because I'll think it was Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Every time you say McMurray, I'm like, good, and you?
Sam McMurray. Wait, hold on. And then the other cop is played by, or the other FBI agent is played by Richard Gant, who everybody should recognize.
Cop from Big Lebowski.
Because he was in the Big Lebowski.
I wouldn't put out much hope for the credence.
Yep. He was also in Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell.
As a cop?
And no, he was a coroner.
Oh, I thought you said he was a cop.
No, he was a cop in Beverly Hills 90210.
That's right.
He was in so many shows, just like one episode.
Oh, yeah, he's a huge
so
character
many
actor.
shows.
He's the guy where you'll see him and you'll be like, what was this guy in? And you'll
Yep.
pull up his list and you'll be like, oh, everything.
I actually
Yep.
just recently saw him in an episode of Doom Patrol.
Oh, okay.
So it's still popping in one episode in a series kind of thing.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah, because I stopped scrolling. I was like, yeah, I get it. He was in everything.
I got your rap sheet.
Is there another season of Doom Patrol?
No, I'm catching up. It's like the 4th season is the final one, I think.
We might have watched it. Maybe not. Let's rewatch it.
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
And
I love that show.
They're basically trying to recruit him to infiltrate this motorcycle gang because, and I'm kind of confused by this whole thing because they're like,
Lay it on me, Daddy.
you have the most biker arrests in Alabama. So do you want to go undercover with this motorcycle gang
In Mississippi.
In Mississippi, but wouldn't they have some idea of who he is if he keeps arresting people?
Only if the Brotherhood has people here, which you would think they do with how many people they have in this underground network that help them smuggle guns places, do background checks. They have somebody in highway patrol.
They have somebody in the army.
They have somebody at the courthouse. So it does not make sense. But yes,
But
that's what's happening is that they don't go that way.
Yeah, and he says, "Now, fuck it. I'm gonna do my 3 weeks of suspension and call it a day."
Looks like that just turned a 6-month suspension, no pay.
Oh, also we forgot about the hot chick in his bed.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
just
right.
mentioned
no,
because-
that's
No,
later.
that's not yet.
Later. That's when Sam McMurray comes to get him.
Oh, okay. I forgot
Yeah.
that they did this whole Richard Gant thing.
But that's not how it works, right? The FBI can't extend a cop's suspension. The
I don't
FBI doesn't
think
have any
so.
jurisdiction over local police.
I wouldn't know. I'm not a cop.
Not a cop.
Not a cop.
He's like, okay, cool, fuck it. So that's when McMurray comes the next day to get him for his thing, and he's walking around his apartment, fucking with all of his shit. And yes, there is a beautiful naked woman in his bed, and he's just staring at her.
I bring it up because his line is so good. He's
Yeah.
like, what, you never seen one of those before? He's like, not so well made.
And I was a beautiful ass.
Oh, she was gorgeous. It's just such a good line. Like, it's not even skeevy.
No.
You know, it's just like, no, I've seen a naked woman. They just don't always look like that.
Not the ones I get.
Oh, especially being a hypochondriac, man.
Oh,
He's gonna
God.
have it rough in the 90s.
Do you have a dog?
Oh yeah, the lizard is
Covered
wriggling
in a
around
robe?
inside of a blanket or a robe. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they go to a strip club, the biker strip club that the Brotherhood owns.
Tit for tat.
If I had a
for
bar, I
tat.
would want. If I had a strip club, I'd want to call it that. You have
Yeah.
strippers in the front and
Yeah,
tattoos in the back.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
bleep. Let's do this.
Strippers in the front, bikers in the rear. Wait, tattoos in the rear,
No, wait.
No.
liquor in the rear.
Yeah.
Got
Well, ever since 2015.
Yeah,
Pre that, nobody ate ass.
that we know.
I remember
of.
that joke from when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Poker in the front, liquor in the rear.
No, other way.
Nope.
Liquor's in the front, poker's in the rear.
Either way.
That's how anal sex works and gambling's.
Yeah.
And doggy style.
And doggy style.
All right, that's fair. You guys all win.
I prefer monitor style.
I don't remember my childhood as that well, so
I wonder if because it was that joke a little too close to home. I was the her.
Ooh.
But so Sam McMurray decides to show up and tag along, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go in here with you and be undercover."
His
And
clothing, dude.
Oh my
he's
God.
like a guy that's like, "What's up, fellow youths?"
Pretty sure he
His
got this.
bandana on his head. and-
Bandana
Oh.
with a backwards hat on top of it.
What like he got this from a Journey store, just like off a mannequin.
100%.
Like, are those still a thing?
It's 91, so it's a discount store, but yeah. But yeah, it's, Boz rips off his sleeves and throws the hat away, and I guess he looks slightly more like a biker.
Yeah, but you still look like somebody that's never ridden a motorcycle a day in your life.
No, you still look like a
100%.
cop.
Yeah.
Or a dentist who rides motorcycles on the weekend.
Yeah, which they're also going to hate that.
He's in the wrong movie. Go to Wild Hogs.
Also, don't do that to our boy. don't you dare condemn somebody to wild hogs.
He can go hang out with, what is it, Tim Allen and John Travolta and Martin Lawrence and somebody else.
Who's the other guy?
William...
Oh, it's Cox. Isn't
no,
it Cox?
no, it's
Oh.
he's
How
in that
dare
movie
you.
also. He is in that movie, but
How dare both of you?
William H. Macy.
There we
yeah.
go.
That's the other
Wait,
one.
you can
I've
agree
never
to
seen
that? You know it?
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
the lineup on the poster.
Okay.
but-
Yeah, I've seen the poster and I
Oh,
saw
guess
the
what?
trailers.
We're gonna do it now.
Yeah,
I quit.
we'll do a whole month of Tim Allen movies.
I'm back in.
We'll even throw in Santa Claus in there for
Yeah. Thank you. It's a guilty pleasure.
you. Yeah. So,
We'll
wow,
just,
that was
we'll jump
weird.
straight to we'll jump straight to Santa Claus 3.
All right,
Is that the one with Martin Short where he's
Back to the boss.
Yeah, Martin Short is Jack Frost.
Jack
Yeah.
Frost.
Anyway,
the boss?
so they go up. They go to the bar though, and this is where you find out that he's a hypochondriac, right? That
Yeah.
Sam McMurray is. Because he talks about it a little bit, but then they go up to the bar and order 2 beers, and he's like, and a glass. And I'm like, you're a hypochondriac, you're a germaphobe. You don't want to drink out of a glass from this
No.
bar.
You want a bottle that you watched him open.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you
you-
can wipe it off with your fucking shirt.
Yep.
And then his immediate complaint is, can I get another glass? This one's filthy. Like,
Dude,
way
you are
to
gonna get-
out yourself.
You are going to get nut sacks dipped in your glass, buddy. This is
Yeah,
this
you are.
kind of bar.
In front of your face,
Oh,
not
yeah.
even behind your back.
Oh, yeah. They ain't going to. There's no back room to nut dipping in this fucking
It's
bar.
not
This-
just a glass; they'll dunk it in your beer.
This is the kind of bar you would have seen 100 years earlier, and the guy behind it would be the same guy with the same mustache, but he'd be spitting in the glasses and wiping it out with a towel.
That's what I want.
Yep.
Put whiskey in it and let it sit for a second, guy. Yeah. It'll be okay.
Boz is trying to get himself in with the Brotherhood, so he goes in here and starts talking to people, and so apparently they sell meth to truckers
Uh-huh.
out of this bar, and there's some truckers that are upset that they got bad meth. Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah,
But they're
you-
making it a biker problem, and it's not.
No, buyer beware. Yeah. Bad meth.
Turns out you can't go to your drug dealer and ask for money back.
There's
No.
there's no quality guarantee on that, right?
No refunds. All sales are final, bitch.
Yeah, I have a return policy. I have a 30-second return policy. You say 30 days? Whatever you heard, man.
But he knows about the Brotherhood a bit because he's the one pointing out. He's like, that there's Ice, the enforcer for the Brotherhood.
He did his homework.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because Sam did not.
No.
He's the one telling. Well, he's telling us, but
yeah. Well, this guy either did his homework or he already knows because he's arresting bikers. He knows these people, but they were out of his jurisdiction before. So the truckers want $1,000 back. Forsythe is not having any of Boz's jib jab.
he does a great improv line though too. He's like, "What do we got here? Look at a grown-up version of Bam
Bam Bam. He calls him Bam Bam a couple
He
times
keeps
too.
calling him pretty too. You know, because he's like, where'd you hear about us? He's like, in prison. He's like, oh, you're a fucking yard. You're a beautiful man. You must have done that hard prison.
I fuck sharks like you in prison. The truckers are talking shit to William Forsythe, or is it the other guy? Yeah, it's William Forsythe.
Well, they
fight
pick up
starts.
the stripper, the dancer.
Yeah.
They pick her up and just start, and then, you know, that now all hell breaks loose. There's a real big guy that is putting a hurt on Gut.
This fight kicks off, by the way. I just got to mention it real quick with William Forsythe kicking this dude square in the nerds as hard as you possibly can.
I'm guessing that's a size 11 right to the cubes.
Looked it.
Wide.
But yeah, it's a bar brawl. It's all out. What were you saying?
Oh, the big guy that one of the bikers, because he's the reason that Boz has to jump in. Otherwise, the bikers are handling
Gut.
it. But the big guy is fucking up Gut. And the big guy I recognized from being one of the goons in Twins.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could tell you. He's from, you moved too soon. One of the guys he says that to.
And then, yeah, he jumps in to save Gut, and he takes this dude out. And then, you know, of course, Forsythe is like, hey, you know, we didn't need your fucking help, whatever. And he walks out. But now Gut's like, oh, I love you.
Yeah.
Come to our rally.
We have a life debt.
There's the guy who's playing Gut. He's that adorable character that you want to love. He's got a stutter. And
Well, this whole movie, he just wants to be loved. He wants to belong.
Yeah.
Which is why he's in this bike gang that shits on him. And that's why he went right to Boz right away. He's like, you fucking protected me. I've never had anyone do that.
Because
love it.
Play
Chains,
harmonica?
who is Lance
Lance.
Henriksen's character, and Ice are constantly just telling this guy to fuck off.
Yeah.
they call him Gutless
Any
Gut.
chance.
So then he does go to the bike rally. Oh, the fight ends with the Boz throwing a dude over the bar face first.
Yeah, and all the bottles and
Dude, he came out of this like a t-shirt and a t-shirt cannon. Like,
Yes, he did.
Boz just launches this guy. Foom.
Now I'm like, are there wires or is Boz just throwing dudes?
he might have been.
He's like, I've been throwing dudes with extra pads for
He
a
was a
couple years, man."
linebacker.
He's a big fucker.
Big fucker, eh?
So he gets to the rally and immediately joins a race against William Forsythe, and he beats him.
William Force Ice.
Forsythe.
Ooh.
It's right there.
I see what you did.
He beats him because he's trying to get himself into the gang by showing that he's good. But I don't know how pissing off number 2 is going to help. But it
Impressing
does.
number 1.
Yeah. Because number 1 doesn't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
And that's when we meet Lance Henriksen.
Agent of Chaos.
Oh, there is a fight in there too, right? He jumps into this pit.
There's a bigger guy than
Who's literally
Bosworth.
just, his job is to stand in this pit and throw people out of it.
yeah.
I kept thinking
wanna
how
s-
tired you would be. He's winning
There's
every
random
fucking
people
bout.
jumping in and he's
Yeah.
just fucking
And he's
them up.
doing like the spinal snap, like dropping him on his leg.
Yeah, like Bane.
Yeah, don't start none, won't be none, Batman.
There we go.
This guy could have played Bane better than fucking Vader did in the Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Maybe better than Tom Hardy. I like Tom Hardy and I like that movie, but he's not Bane.
He's not Bane, and I don't really like that movie.
It's my least favorite of the three.
Yeah, it's the weakest of the 3.
I don't remember it, so it's fine.
It's also 7 hours long.
Well, the
What, it's the
version
third,
you
the third
watched.
Nolan or what?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, the third Nolan. Yeah, sorry. No, when he said the version I watched, I thought you were talking about that 9-hour fucking Justice League.
That's
You watched
time
it?
wasted.
No, not yet.
Oh.
God knows I did.
We started watching it one night, but we were very drunk, and we were like 5 minutes in, and I was like, "Not right now."
Nope.
Just turned it right
Yeah.
back
You don't watch most Zack Snyder movies when you're drunk.
But yeah, so he wins in the fight pit, and that's when he gets to meet the boss, Chains Cooper, played by Lance Henriksen,
The devil.
who looks skeezy as fuck in this movie, and it's awesome.
He looks fantastic.
He's working it. Those extensions they look real.
Uh-huh. Well, I know he did. So he grew out a lot of his own hair, but obviously that length part is not
Correct.
But I mean, he brought a lot of his own choices to this role.
Yeah.
And thank fucking God.
I love when they give the creative what you can do on your own.
Yeah, creative freedom, kind
Thank
of
you.
control, all
I
that.
think it comes from having a second director come in and being like, "All right, dude, I don't want these guys that we already worked with to walk. So let's give what they were doing wasn't working. Let's try something else."
Yeah, let's make this work.
and I think they probably had their script that, like I said, they weren't really using. I'm sure like the basic dialogue was, but not like the biker lines, like the cool lines. But Lance Henriksen, according to himself, him and Brian Bosworth pretty much improvised everything they said to each other.
That makes it better. Like it doesn't read that way.
Yeah, especially because he's got such good lines. Like he's got a lot of menacing bad guy lines.
Yeah,
he's also played a menacing bad guy a lot,
And he's not taken from the Bible like a cheap fucking hack or anything. Like he's just ripping demonic phrases.
But he did. So Lance Henriksen, I guess, is the one who he was really wanted to make sure that the outlaw bikers were like correct and like represented correctly. I think he knew these are probably the people who are going to watch this movie, not the people that the producers think because they're Brian Bosworth. So he wanted to make it authentic. So he went around in his interview. He said he felt like Jesus collecting apostles because he went around all these like southern states meeting like bikers at biker bars and shit and being like, hey, you want to come be in this movie? Whatever.
By the
they
way,
bring their own bike. They get paid for their bike. They get paid for their time.
I would watch a movie of him as Jesus getting the apostles.
I would watch that
fucking watch
Where's
the
that
shit out of
documentary?
that.
Where's that behind the scenes?
I mean, he did great because all the cast, it's cast awesome. I mean, well, they're just background actors, but they're all realistic as hell.
It made it.
Yeah.
Authentic.
And I mean, that happens in a lot of these really low budget biker movies from
Miami
the 60s
Connection.
all the way up, as they would hire real bikers. But in the early ones, like in the 60s, like in an episode I think we're going to do this month, The Wild Angels with Peter Fonda and Bruce Dern. In those kind of movies, the bikers were hired and they were paid with like cases of beer. But by 90 or 91 when they're making this movie, these guys are like, yo, we can make money.
Yeah, we get paid for our bike rental.
Yeah. And I guess
you're gonna pay my old lady.
Well, and I guess a lot,
90.
the women that were on there, a lot of like he got these bikers to come, and then they brought their women with them too. They brought their women and their bikes.
So
so like these women with their tops open and shit. These are just biker ladies who are like, yeah, I'm in this movie, boobs.
Makes me want to get a bike.
Same thing as Savage Dawn. There was chicks
that's
right
how
next
Wild
to a
Hogs
fire
started.
taking off their shirts.
I don't think any Wild Hogs look like this.
but was it Miami Connection where they had authentic bikers too? Is that what you're saying? Like they had really,
Miami
really
Connection,
good biker rallies
same
and
thing.
all that.
Yeah. It's just it's an easy, cheap way. These guys are like, yeah, fuck it.
There's a couple-
We're like, we got the clubhouse to shoot at now for free.
Yeah.
We don't have to do scouting.
What do you want me to
That
do?
was-
I want you to drink and party.
That's the other thing Derek
All right,
pointed
guys,
out.
normal Tuesday.
That's what Derek was saying. He's like, those are real guns also. By the way.
Later on though, during the funeral pyre, which we'll get to, but all those guns, that was not planned. Those people are real guns shooting real guns into the air.
That's insane.
Yeah.
This should be planned. This is
Right?
a bad thing to do.
But they hired a guy who was an ex like 1%er, like the top biker guys, and you don't leave unless you have a really good reason. But he was able to, and he's not in hiding, so he's not like in witness protection. This guy's legal name is Magic, but they hired him to advise on all the outlaw biker stuff. So like if they had a line where like someone's gonna say this, he's like, nah, it's fucking stupid.
No one would ever say that.
So
You're neat.
Right? Oh, God.
he's meeting Lance Henriksen.
Oh yeah, in his van.
Yes, Lance Henriksen is sitting in the boss's van with Nancy, played by Arabella Holzbog, who did some other stuff, but nothing I really know.
Nothing,
so.
and she barely did anything in this movie for me.
Yeah.
I think she's a weak spot in the casting.
Yeah. And the weird thing is, in her interview, she said, so she was born in England. She's British.
Okay.
She talks like an American now,
Blames
like in
those
the
teeth.
interview. But so in this point, she's probably trying to do American, which probably doesn't help either.
Probably. I don't know. It's one of the few things I like to recast. I'd like to put Marissa Tomei right there.
Oh,
You're not going to afford her, but I'd like to put her there.
I would
put her anywhere.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you seen Schindler's List? Oh, with Liam Neeson? No.
No, recast with Marissa Tomei. I could have got one more. How many more for this one fucking pen? Some little Jewish kid's going to bed at night. Boom, a fucking bullet goes through his head. Do you think he cares what shoes you're wearing?
Fucking love her. That's going to be on our Patreon, right?
Schindler's List?
No.
Oh, man, that's like a master class. Like, all right, dude, make fun of Schindler's List and don't be shitty about it.
You talking about My Cousin Vinny?
Yes.
Okay. Possibly. But not Schindler's List.
Not even with Marissa Tomei.
Well, okay, if Marissa Tomei redid it, then yeah.
If you're
It's a
listening.
one-woman play.
Anyway, that movie's so brutal. I bought it on 4K.
Of course you did.
Of course you did.
And I haven't opened it because I keep thinking about watching it, and I'm like,
I'm scared of it. Put it in the icebox.
Lance Henriksen basically is like, here, take my woman, have sex with her. I'll see you later. And
Oh,
he
yeah,
leaves
because he's
the
like,
van
get
and
the
shuts
fuck out of my
door.
van, like
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah. And that's when William Forsythe tells him, hey, I don't trust this motherfucker. Like, he just waltzes in here. He's super cool. Like, he's fucking cop.
Yeah, I can smell it.
I smell trouble, right? And then Chain says, I smell business.
Yeah. And I mean, Forsythe is just great in every scene, but right here, he's got that cigar and he just looks at him and he goes, hey, you know me, I'm a worrywart. And just fucking
rips
peels
off,
up.
dude.
It's so awesome, man.
Do
I just gush over this fucking performance of his and Lance's.
Do you think, I should probably ask this later on, but do you think Lance knows that he's a cop?
No.
Okay.
No, because I found that he has a line later, and it doesn't really matter. It's shortly here, but he says, "You're either the biggest pork chop I ever ate, or my bulldozer." So he knows. He's like, this guy might be a cop, but he also might be awesome.
Yeah.
So
I think if
I'm gonna
he
go
knew
with it.
he was a
'cause-
cop, you're dead.
Okay.
You're dead right away. This movie doesn't happen if he thinks he's a cop this early.
So they go to the Brotherhood compound, which is terrifying. It's like this prison, but there's just like small children running around.
Yeah, there's a stroller going
There's-
by with,
there's
with
like
a
a
little
s-
kid pushing it.
It's like a 6-year-old pushing a stroller with
after
a
we see some
2-year-old.
boobs, like
Yeah, it's a
Oh, there's
weird
more
cut.
boobs. Yeah,
Oh,
there's that
that's
lady.
the outside
This
shower,
is
right?
The old
The
you
outside
betcha.
shower. There's a lady playing pool with her tits out.
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude,
I
these
don't know.
are-
Vesty McChesty.
I don't know how
those-
she's not falling forward.
She
Those
hit the
are
pool-
big.
She hit the pool balls, and I heard clack clack, and I wasn't sure if it was.
Boz walks by and checks him out too, as you should
Yeah.
when a lady's presenting him to be checked out.
Yes.
And I think it's her old man might be Mudfish is not happy about it. It's
Oh,
like, she's
I
got her
was-
boobs out. What is he supposed to do?
I was
look
too
at
busy
him?
looking at her boobs to not see his face.
I
They
think
were.
he gave a small salute when he walked in. Actually,
I
And
would
then we
too.
meet another minor character, but we have to mention him because he's important to the story, and he's been on the podcast before. Gregory Scott Cummins playing AWOL.
Yeah,
Welcome
who's
back,
Max-
AWOL.
the
Max
army biker.
dad from
Yep.
Always Sunny.
Max Dad from Always Sunny. He
Okay.
was in Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge, as the slasher killer guy. Not Eric.
No,
The actual killer. I don't know.
And then he's
Well, Eric's
also
a killer
that
too.
was weeks ago.
he was also in Bosch.
That was like a year ago.
Oh, still haven't watched Boz.
Yeah, he's in Bosch. He's in Cliffhanger. He's a part of
There's
Crate and
something
Barrel in Bosch.
terrifying about his face. There's
He's-
like
It's the piercing blue eyes with the dark hair and eyebrows
And
and the
the-
giant fucking teeth smile.
and then you're putting on a mustache that's not helping anything you just said.
No.
Like, you're not covering.
he's the Weasley. He's the Weasley slicked back or no?
No.
Oh,
He was
okay.
he was in all full fatigue.
got
had the
fatigue.
beret,
Oh, that's
the
AWOL.
pilot.
AWOL.
That's AWOL.
Hence
Okay, that
AWOL.
makes sense.
I think
You know,
the slick back
AWOL.
hair.
He had a ponytail.
No, I'm trying to think of who he's thinking about.
I'm thinking of another creepy guy later.
Maybe the Greek.
I was gonna say he had slicked back hair in Phantom of the Mall.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was
But that wasn't
fatigues. Ex-army.
How's that song go again? Phantom
Is there a phantom in the mall? Some people might ask,
It goes something like that.
is there a phantom in the mall? Or just
just
in a broken hockey mask?
Self-censoring for the 2000s.
You're well. I'm fixing it in pre.
So Boz brings Chains a gift of body armor, and they're like suspicious because it's government issue. And Boz is like, "Yeah, so is your gun and that gun and all the guns over there."
But
like,
Bleep pointed out, what did you say last night? Like, just
Yeah, just do a normal bulletproof vest so you fucking avoid that whole conversation.
Well, no, but
I
like,
stole off a dead biker
Yeah.
that I killed.
yeah.
It's not government issue. Done.
or it's government issue, but you sprayed some blood on it first. You know,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I got this from someone else.
You bet your ass it was government issue.
well,
But it does
headshots
lead-
wouldn't have blood on it.
It does lead to
It have blood on the armor.
blood
Not if they're
runs
wearing-
and flows.
I mean, was he shot in a small room? We talking like the death
If I
room
shot
from
you in
Dead
the
Heat?
head right now, and you fell backwards, your
be
vest
blood on
would
my shirt.
No,
You
it
don't
wouldn't.
think this entry wound is going to be bleeding down?
No,
on,
it'd be
guy.
bleeding back.
You're not
Well, if I
Dexter.
fell
You're no
back, I'd hit
Dexter.
that step. It
Oh
doesn't
yes,
You're no Dexter.
you're no Daisy.
You're no Dexter at all.
You're a Dexter if you do. But this line I wrote down, Lance Henriksen says, and knowing these are improvised makes it so much better. It's right after he gives him the armor, and then he shoots Bosworth with the armor on,
yeah.
which is funny.
And Bosworth just fucking picks him up and throws him on a pool.
Chokes him
Yeah.
on. He's choking him out.
And he says something along the lines of, like, if you try that again, the line I wrote down was, I'll peel your skin off with a knife dipped in shit.
Oh God! Like, there's three things happening there, and you made them the worst things you could do.
That's the line they used too when they were doing the interviews, and someone said like most of the lines were improvised, or Lance's lines at least were improvised, and it cut to that. I was like, whew.
Oh man, I think you probably wrote it down if you watched the same movie I did, but he has a great one later we'll get to that he threatens.
Oh, the one you texted me, yeah.
No, there's another one where he kind of takes it to an extreme. It's like it's Ice again telling him like, I think he's a cop, you know, and like what if he's like what he says he'll do to him is so fucking
Okay,
good.
I might have written it down. We'll get there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
He
know what
doesn't
I
remember.
wrote down. That was hours ago. That was an hour. That was less than an hour
That was
ago.
an hour ago.
No, it was probably like 3 hours ago.
What?
It's
Okay,
almost
well, we've been
fine.
recording for an hour, so kind of. So they give him a mission. You have your first mission whenever you meet the new gang in GTA. You have to go do a fetch quest.
Yep.
This one is go fetch a man's ear.
Dude, this could have been a GTA movie, by the way. Fuck, this could be.
So he goes to this guy to steal his ear. But he's a cop. He can't kill anybody,
No.
right? They're allowed to do drugs when they're undercover, and they're allowed to do most things, but killing you're not supposed to do.
Yeah, it's a big no-no. There's some paperwork involved.
Yeah. So he goes to this guy.
Although the FBI should be like, we can bury this fucking guy. We're not a cop. We're the FBI.
That's fair. But I do like his line where he's telling the guy, if you're a good dancer, he's like, you should take a bow. And he's like, hey, I don't need any shit. You know, it's this like, it's probably like, are you hitting on me? Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, don't fuck with me.
And he's like, no, take a bow, and just fucking bam, slams his head into the fucking table or the
That's
bar.
him being Bam Bam again.
Bam Bam, I would call him that.
And he just pulls this dude out of the bar over his shoulder, and everybody's just like, okay.
You gonna question it?
No.
You're gonna stop this guy?
I'm
No.
not saying
you're
they're
gonna sit
wrong.
there and finish your old fashioned. Is what you're gonna do, and you're gonna mind your own fucking business.
I see the guy's head going toward the bar, and I just lift it up. Don't want to
There we
spill
go.
that.
There's a beverage here, man. Mind the beverage.
But they did take this dude and take a bunch of pictures of it. Like, he takes him right to FBI headquarters.
The tattoo artist has the best line.
Oh, I love it. After they get the pictures of this guy's ear and they steal his earring.
I tattooed flabby asses. I've tattooed limp dicks. I ain't never tattooed an ear before.
A corpse ear, he
A
specifically
corpse ear.
says.
A corpse
and then he
ear.
no
laughs.
flabby asses. I've tattooed tits.
I thought he said dicks.
Was it? Okay.
Did you have it written down?
No, I
Either
didn't
or.
write it down.
Well,
I was like, Jack will remember that
I
line.
will watch this again very soon.
I tried to watch it last night when I got home from work, knowing I was going to watch it again today.
Yeah.
That worked out. I was going to watch it with the commentary. I hit play. I think I got as far as Welcome to Stone Cold, and then she was waking me up at 6. Like, you should go to bed.
Oh, you didn't even get to hear a cleanup on aisle 4?
I didn't even see the grocery store.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, so then they get the ear, they tattoo the ear, and they send this guy away. They're like, don't come back. I'm like, you gotta do a little better than that.
Don't come back now, y'all.
Well, and then he's like, what goes around comes around. I'm going to get you, bitch.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, while the case is open, at least, this guy's detained.
Yep, you got an FBI Black Ops like grindhouse style headquarters. Like you have a hole to put this guy in.
Yeah.
To just disappear him for as much time as this needs.
Exactly. But they don't. I wonder if that'll come back.
I don't think it will.
Okay.
No.
Of course not. Why would it?
And this is when we find out Chains' network is bigger than we thought. It's not just bikers, because he calls this girl at the police department.
Or they call her a sister. A highway
Yeah.
patrol.
Yeah, highway patrol. Yeah, later on they do say we have a sister in there. So, but he calls her to get information on Bosworth's character.
Oh, at one point, I don't know if we've met AWOL yet, but when he does come up, he gives him a fat envelope of cash, and he says from the yada yada brotherhood.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know what
That
division.
was,
Brotherhood in
we did meet
Mississippi
him
or some
earlier.
shit.
Okay,
I just-
so there, like, it's a big network. It's mafia style bikerhood at this point.
Here's the
Yeah.
donation.
Yep.
Blop.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure this is supposed to be Hell's Angels or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
That's
so
somehow
he gets
racist.
sent. He gets sent to do collections with Nancy and Tool and another girl, and this is fucking awesome.
Ice gets pissed. He's like, that's my fucking job.
Yeah, he's feels like he's being replaced. But I
Kinda
just
is.
love. I mean, he might be getting tried out because Ice talks a lot of shit, and
Yeah.
Boz doesn't. And so he's like, "Well, if he's good and he's not a cop, I'll make him my number 2."
I mean, Ice at one point says he's like, I'm the one that's done all the killing so far.
And you know what we'll do with Ice?
No.
We'll put ice in the drink.
He's got ice in his veins, which is why he's got his nickname, by the way. It's a bad motherfucker.
I mean, that's why he does all the killing, right?
That's why he does the killing. He can't be the only one that's done all the killing. That one bald guy, Trouble, killed the fucking priest.
Well, now that he's detained.
So now he's taking all the credit. I get
Yep.
it.
These Italian dudes show up, and they're very angry that these guys are collecting in their territory.
3 Andrew Dice Clays
So,
on my fucking territory.
so instead of driving by and shooting this guy, as everyone expected watching this movie, he pulls up to Tool when she's coming out of this building and fucking hucks a grenade at this guy.
The escalation
Right?
of gang warfare. I remember when drive-bys was just driving by with a fucking gun. Jesus Christ, man.
just coming out with
Another
fucking
great
hand
explosion,
grenades.
too.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Blow the shit out of this car, and this stuntman, presumably, who's standing not more than 2 feet away from this thing.
Yeah. Great fucking stunts. We'll say
Yes.
a bunch more.
Yes, please, please, please preach.
Yeah, it's and then they come after, well, I can't remember her name. 'Cause she's-
Nancy.
They come after Nancy, get her money. I only bring up that because at one point it's like, how much did they get? And she's like, 400. Doesn't seem like that's that big of a deal.
No.
Even
yeah.
in 91.
Even in 91 money. But Boz jumps on the hood of this fucking car, and it's him. You know, for a lot
for
of the
most
shots
of
that we
it.
can see.
Oh,
At least from the inside, for
Yeah.
sure.
He's got slits on the bottom of his jeans, like right at his ass cheeks, and that's for the ladies.
Oh, no,
Well, not for the ladies.
It's for everybody enjoying
It's
it.
for the people who love this
we,
ass.
we did enjoy his Guess jeans, but the label's ripped off.
Yeah, the
That
triangle.
Triangle?
Go
You see
anywhere.
it.
You can't miss that.
It's all stonewashed except for that part.
How to turn your Guess jeans into Oshkosh Bagosh.
There's this things that have been sprinkled in throughout the movie is news footage
Yeah.
of troubles, courts
Trial.
and trials.
Or
Thank you.
retrial.
Oh yeah,
All of
and the
that.
governor.
The
I don't know if
governor-
we've got there
Or the
yet.
guy that
Whip
wants
it,
to be the
whip-
governor.
Whippiter.
Whip Whipperton.
Whip
Whipperton.
Which, dude, I'm gonna say this: if you're in the South and you have a heavy Southern accent, you shouldn't have your nickname be Whip.
Or crack the whip.
There's some connotations here.
Well,
you don't want to make.
He's the DA that's trying to become the governor.
Oh, he's the DA.
So he's
Yeah.
that'll get him all the votes from most of the
well,
people.
okay,
From the
all right.
voters.
I rescind what I said. It is Mississippi in '91.
It was just recently they finally introduced him, and it's kind of important only because his name is important later.
Yeah.
He's barely a character. He wants to put Trouble. He wants to give Trouble the death penalty.
Uh-huh. Because 45 years, I mean, it is a lot, but it's kind of lenient for just murder in the first.
Yeah.
For just walking up to a priest and shotgunning him.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about blowing a hit of weed in his mouth.
Yeah, this isn't the shotgun they were using in Platoon, which was a real shotgun, but it had weed in it.
That's how the term shotgun came about.
And then the bikers go to visit Tool in the hospital, and it's just kind of fucked up because this guy looks like the Joker. He doesn't
Yeah,
look
he
like
does.
Two-Face. He's got like a smile curve burnt into his
He
mouth.
made a decent Joker. Like Joker of the Corn, though.
Yeah. I could see that.
If the Joker was from the South.
He might have just really done that grenade stunt, and that's how he looked after it. Like, it was brutal
looks so
looking.
real,
It was
right?
brutal.
I had made a comment. I was like, I am impressed by the makeup at here.
What did we
like
just-
the cuts and the wounds and everything?
Yeah,
look
it looked
so
good. It
fucking
looked
real.
good.
What did we just do? Oh, it's that deadly run
Oh,
where someone steps on like the stunt person steps right where an explosion goes off. I mean, it doesn't look like it fucked him up, but it.
But
would've-
yeah,
He does
you
a
got-
quick like jump over.
Yeah, like he looked at the mark and was like, "Oh fuck, I'm in mid step, dude. I'm so
I'm not supposed to
fucked."
run to the mark. I'm supposed to run away from the mark.
To the right of the mark."
But the Chains, I'm pretty sure, gave the woman to him, right? He's
Yeah.
like, you're going to marry him and take care of him forever. And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like crying.
He's like, "I'll marry you."
He's hard to
Yeah.
look at on film, let alone if you're right there. He's like, she's gonna take care of you, and
Well,
she's
'cause
like,
he
oh,
says,
what?
"Fucking kill me, man."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Just
wants
kill
to
me.
die, and he's like, "No, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna give you slow death. Here's a wife."
I'm not going to kill you. I'll do the next worst thing. Just kidding. I love
I
you,
now
wife.
pronounce you.
Well, you said kill you, so now you're married.
Yeah, he even says, "I'm gonna marry you," and I'm like, "Well, how much would it cost for me to get Lance Henriksen to perform my wedding? Because I'll start dating again." Step 1, find someone who wants to get married by Lance Henriksen. Step 2, do it.
Step 3, divorce.
Oh, I can't even make a fictional relationship last.
No, you're just like, no, you're right after the wedding. You're just like, I just wanted to be married by Lance Henriksen.
well,
This isn't
that's
going to
over
work
with.
out.
I got a marriage certificate with his name on it. That's how I got his autograph. Long haul.
Marry some fucking bowl of chili or
I
something.
don't think that's legal.
It's not legal to be married by Lance Henderson either.
Henriksen.
Hendrickson. Did I say Henderson?
Henriksen.
Lance and the Hendersons.
Yep.
Get out of
Wait,
here,
no, okay,
Lance!
now here we got to specify this. Is it Hedrickson?
Henrik.
Henriksen.
No D.
No D.
I bet he got a
Hendrickson.
D though.
Oh, he's got D. Trust me. He's doing my wedding for Christ's sake.
Get out of here, Lance. We don't want you anymore.
Except
Sorry.
can't you see we do want you? Get back here, Lance.
Come here, Lance. We want you to marry us.
What part of England are you from? Connecticut.
That is exactly how Lithgow talks.
I mean, you always think he's English.
Yeah. I just do yelling. He actually does the voice.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a yell, though.
It is. He's always yelling.
Are you insane?
So Chains goes and meets with the Italians, is what we'll call them.
Yeah, that's a good word to call it. Oh, because
The wet ass pussies.
so Boz has chemicals and like a whole bunch of chemicals coming in, and we need a buyer, and he's like, I got a
P2P?
buyer. We'll use those wet ass pussies. P2P.
P2P, so I think they're using it as like a fake drug or something, but
Kind of like meth, I guess.
I thought it was the
He
main
says
ingredient.
it's
for
how you
meth.
make crank.
In
so
that.
that's meth.
So
that's
It's not.
It is.
that was
It's
a
not.
nickname for meth in the 80s.
Yeah, crank.
yes.
The nickname crank came from bikers putting meth in their
But
crank
it's not-
case and
yeah,
smuggling
the-
it.
Oh my God, crank
dirtier,
is so
maybe?
gross though.
Well,
Never
it's-
mind.
it's biker
smuggled-
meth.
It's got yeah.
It's not Breaking Bad meth. This is biker meth. This
Yeah.
is
Crank is what you shot up.
Not me.
in Breaking Bad. P2P is what they're calling this. Like it's an agent. It's not called P2P, but it's what they're stealing from the train and shit. It's
Okay.
the big barrels they always need.
so
So it's
it
the
is-
acid. It's the muriatic
it's
acid.
a P2P, I think is what they say. So it's something that does
okay,
whatever
so
that is.
main ingredient kind
But the ingredient is something else. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's drugs.
He did say he's like got like 30 gallons or 3 drums coming in. He's like, that's enough to wire up half the Gulf Coast. I don't think it is. I don't think you've got enough. I think you're really underselling.
That might
me
get the
interest.
panhandle high.
I think you said 30 drums.
30,
No,
I
it
thought it
was
was 30
3.
gallons and 3 drums. I don't know. I'm
doesn't
not a
matter.
barrel, but
He's selling it for $1 million.
Yeah.
Well, they're selling it for 50,000, but it's worth $1 million. So I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's drugs.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter because it doesn't exist by the end of this movie. But when he's meeting up with them, so those two guys, one of those guys is what the fuck did I just say earlier?
The
He was
drug
in,
dealer in
yes, another movie.
Yeah,
I already
with
lost it.
Tex Randall Cobb. Was it Blind Fury?
Blind Fury. Yes,
Yeah.
one of them is from Blind Fury. Both of them were also played drug
Am I
dealers. Both of them also played drug dealers in a movie that I have over there. Of course, you do called not Rapid Fire, Dark Angel with Rolf.
With Dolph Lundgren, you already mentioned this.
Rolf
Somebody
Lundgren.
in this worked on that. Rolf Lundgren was in.
I know what happened. He ate a gummy.
No snitching.
Rolf Lundgren.
It's getting worse.
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren.
There we go.
I got it.
Say it with a straight face.
It's not golf. It's not our friend that owns the restaurant.
I wouldn't say friend.
I serve him beer.
Not now.
He doesn't listen.
He doesn't listen. He's not a friend. All right.
But didn't you mention Dark Angel earlier? Somebody in this wrote or directed that?
The director directed that. Yes.
Okay.
So, but this guy.
Well, that's what directors do. They direct
Yeah. Both these guys.
Sometimes they edit if you're Kevin
But
Costner.
both these guys are in that. One of them's in the other one. Doesn't
and
matter.
produce
And sell your seed.
and star.
So we have this really weird scene with Lance Henriksen sitting in a room by himself with this VHS tape of Whipperton, and he's like remixing it.
No, he's rewinding it and playing it. Rewinding and playing it.
But
Just
it is
trying to
really
edit
so
it.
on point with his rewinding and pausing. Like, you couldn't fucking do this in 91 technology. I couldn't do it now.
Yeah, because he gets it down to like just him repeating death over and over. But it's just like he's doing it and he rewinds and it's like talk, 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 talk.
I like that.
He's just P2P'd out, just zoning.
I smelled that P2P.
Tell me you didn't want a song to come off from death, 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 death.
Yeah, no, it should have.
That
Yeah,
would've been a
went
death.
into something.
Check out YouTube. I'm sure it's there.
Yeah, I hope
You should
so.
make one.
Remixing it.
Do it.
But that's where they actually show us the name of the congressman or the whatever, the DA.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the whole reason for the scene is they show him doing the interview and they show his name and it's like Chip Whipperton or some shit.
Chip Whip.
He has a first
Chip
name.
Whip Whip.
ain't
He
Chip.
has the first name.
It's definitely not. There's no world this dude's name is Chip Whipperton and
His
he goes
son.
by Whip. Chip Whip Whipperton? Listen to it. Chip Whip Whipperton. No, cancel.
His son is Chip.
He's a whip off the old shoulder. A whip off the old block.
Good God. All right.
Almighty.
He had a movie after this called John Whip. Somebody sued my dog.
I'm going to sue all these motherfuckers.
They impounded my car.
Whose car did you impound? John Whip. Oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I just had the bleep.
Still,
Chip Whip.
still John Leguizamo, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I had the bleeps watch that John Wick 1 recently, and they were just loving, like, no matter what, it was like, why the fuck would you do this? Oh, because it was John Wick. And everybody just goes, like it's so
the most
great. No
hardcore
argument.
Gangsters.
Yeah.
Like Eastern European
You
fucking
killed
hard
his
asses.
fucking dog?
Whose dog did he kill? John Wick's.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so awesomeness.
And from there, he has killed nearly 300 people on screen because someone killed his fucking dog.
Well, now it's just for survival because he's living, so her memory lives on.
But
When
it
he
all
dies,
started
she dies.
because of his dog.
Yeah.
If
So-
they would have just
Fucking
left him
Theon.
alone, 300 people would
So
be
I wonder what the
alive.
comparison is. Rambo kills now, like movies in versus Wick kills
Oh,
movies
Rambo's
in. You know,
Well,
what's
it's
the
probably
ratio
pretty
going
close,
on?
honestly.
It's getting
Rambo
there.
might have more, but I don't know. That would be close.
Yeah.
I never watched number 3, so I wouldn't know.
I mean, a lot of people died, but not necessarily.
I
mean,
listened to the podcast, so I don't have to watch it.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah. There, I treat a lot of movies that I hear on the podcast like that. I'm like, well, that was enough. All right,
enough.
I got my fill.
Good
There,
job,
there are
guys.
times when I listen to podcasts and I hear them talking about movies, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. And then there's other times where I listen, I'm like, oh, I gotta see
Yeah,
that.
I have to.
All right, back to Chip Whipperton.
All right, so Chip Whip Whipperton's
It's
on the
cool.
screen.
His first name is Cool.
Cool Whip.
Cool Whipperton. I named him after my favorite cigarettes. So
That sounds like a Southern thing to do. Barbara, get your sister Camel in here.
Where's Virginia Slim?
All right, easy GPC. I'm asking the questions here.
All right,
I never
Cool.
liked him. Damn it. So
Oh, that's where
generic.
you got Cool. I was like, where did he get Cool from?
Yeah.
I
You
came
said it.
around. I made it full circle. No, Cool Whip.
I'm now laughing at my own joke.
That's how I know it's good.
I was thinking of, the white fluffy stuff you put on top of a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, Cool Whip. I got
Cool
that.
Whip.
And he was just going with cool for the cigarettes.
Yeah, and I didn't get that until I just said Cool. And
Got it. We're all
now
back.
we're all back.
I thought
was
I was
never
the
here.
stoned one.
We're
So
all the
then-
stoned one.
I stopped taking notes for a little while.
As you should watching this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So the next thing I have though is the Ice sees, which is William Forsythe. Well, we say that, but then we say William Forsythe. Forsythe sees the Boz and Sam McMurray talking to each other.
Before that, there's a
Yeah.
great fucking scene where Ice comes to Lance's sauna room apparently because he's got like a hot tub in his fucking upstairs loft.
Oh yeah,
because he comes
that
out
seems
wet
like
and
it's probably
dripping.
against code, but
Right. Well, so's an indoor motorcycle, I'm guessing. But I'm also getting an indoor motorcycle, and I'll tell
Yeah.
you why.
just to
Jack's like, I
rather
need
feel
one.
better.
I need one. No, for this reason. Ice comes to start spouting the same old thing of, oh, and this is where the line comes in, by the way.
Okay, I'm
He's like, I'm
listening.
afraid that I'm going to be replaced. Like, I'm afraid he's going to be up in all the shit, and one day I'm just going to be gone, and he's going to fuck you over. And I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but he's like, then I'm going to cut off his arms, his legs, weld him to a fucking septic tank, and drop him in the bayou.
oh
Yeah,
yes,
good
that's right. I
line.
remember that.
And it is just, like, terrifying.
Yeah.
But then
Like,
Ice
I got
Cube's-
this, babe. You ain't got to worry about this shit.
Yeah.
You worry work.
Don't you worry, Word. I'll just turn him into a buoy and drop him in the bayou. But fucking, he's not liking what he's saying still, so he just starts up the motorcycle and he's like, I don't like what I'm hearing. Now I need an indoor motorcycle.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
Someone
this
just-
place isn't airtight, so all those fumes are getting out eventually.
Just do an app on your phone where you just like.
No, I need the luxury of sitting on that fucking thing.
He doesn't want to spend that much though, so he just gets the Power Wheels. I'm sorry, I don't like what I'm hearing.
We can afford you a 50. Can you fit on a 50?
Nope. I'll look at the Bosworth.
Yes, you will.
Like those little mini bikes people were riding around for a few years there.
Yep. Oh, God. Terrifying with my body shape.
I got a 70cc I can fit you on, Jack. My dad rides it, and he's gigantic, so you're good, dude.
Oh, that's
he's
true. I
like
am smaller
he's like
than him.
6'4" or something,
Yeah.
so he rides that motherfucker.
I think I weigh more than him now that he slimmed down and started drinking them seltzers.
I love your dad, by the way.
Oh man,
Your dad is hilarious.
he's a handful. He's awesome.
I
Two
had fun.
fucking handfuls.
Yes. Yes. If you were to ever meet his father, you would not believe that it was his father.
Oh yeah, he's quite different. Quite different.
But what was the mailman like?
No, he is my stepdad, but he raised me, so he's my pop. He's my stepdad.
If you've thought about recording a podcast before, but like myself, realized you need a lot of different tools and services, well, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and easily distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. You can record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests and feel a sense of zen knowing that Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Go to Zencaster.com/pricing and use my code WORSEPeople. That's WORSEPEOPLE, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experience I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
All right, what was the last thing we said?
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I want to.
Ice was at
Okay, so now we're
Chains'
gonna get
place,
to
yeah.
the diner.
Yeah, so then he leaves and he sees them talking to each other. So he does a drive-by with an actual gun.
Yeah, this is how a drive-by supposed
Yeah,
to go.
not just a nade that you.
But if he had a nade, he
Really?
might have gotten the movie might be over right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Especially that grenade, because that thing, he threw it and it exploded less than a second later.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, hot potato.
I mean, that's not a movie grenade. That is much more akin to a military grenade.
Like, is that one somebody took the thing out and they were like, and now put it back in? Is that how it works? Can you stop it that
Yeah,
way?
Yeah.
you can. As long
Is
as you
it still,
don't
is
release
it still, the fuse still down?
I think you've got a very short fuse
So maybe that's what
now.
happened. He had them all prepped for just tossing at people.
He's cooking them.
They're all cooked.
They're all cooked, man. Hot potato.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about grenades, but
But then, yeah,
It sounds like enough. You know to put the pin back in and stop.
he shoots. He does like the drive-by to Ice and Lance, the McMurray. And then now we get that awesome motorcycle chase.
Ice does the drive-by
Yeah.
to Boz and McMurray.
Yes.
yes. And then, yeah, this motorcycle chase, which apparently took like multiple days of shooting, and it happened in 3 different states.
Oh, wow.
They shot a bunch of it while they were in Alabama shooting. They shot most of it while they were in Mississippi shooting, and then they did pickup shots in LA.
That's fucking insane.
Okay, you can see the Alabama ones when they go under the tunnel, I believe, is a part of Alabama I've been to that is, I think, right on Mississippi-Alabama border. So that makes sense for
Yeah,
those
he
two.
called that out.
But
Yeah.
then
Because they
but
shot
then
on location.
But then the Cali ones, that's funny. They're just like, little.
I think that's probably like pickups in the tunnels or something, because you can't see outside. So,
Yeah.
or they went to a real weird part of LA I'm not aware of that looks like Mississippi.
There's a lot of
But-
weird parts of LA you're not aware of, and they're all
There
for
were a
billions.
couple
There's
parts
no-
where I was like, this looks like California. The rest is the South, though. So I
Yeah.
kind of was picking up on
There's
that.
that one tunnel in LA that's in every fucking movie. It was in that one movie we just did with You're Neat. That one tunnel that you go through.
Oh, you're neat. Hard Rock
Hard Rock
Zombies.
Zombies, which actually
Yeah.
isn't out yet, but we're recording things all out of order this month.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I don't think she said recorded. I think she said watched. Or
Doesn't
maybe
matter.
I'm wrong.
I said I don't know what we
Doesn't
did. I
matter.
said that
Spoiler
we
alerts.
did.
Spoiler alert.
Well, you know what? Everybody just got a free bonus that you could have gotten if you were a Patreon member. And found out what we're doing all month.
Legally, you owe us $3.
That's patreon.com/worstpeople.
I've been drinking.
But yeah, so it was shot all over the place, and most of the writing is done by Bosworth and Forsythe.
You can see when it's not Forsythe.
So
there's some wig work.
And the disappearing bandana.
Oh, I didn't even check that.
Because when it's Forsythe for sure,
I thought
there's
it got
no
lost
bandana.
in that mane of hair.
Well, it just keeps disappearing, and then like when they get to where it's the stuntman, and
It's
it's
a
obviously
terrible
a wig.
wig.
Yeah.
Again, this probably falls victim to a lot of the things we watch, which is this is a Blu-ray,
Uh-huh.
or you guys watch it streaming, but it's probably the same.
Yeah, it was at least 1080, I would
Yeah,
say.
so it's high definition. So, but yeah, you can
They were
clearly
editing
see.
on like VHS quality. Like, I don't even know if this will make it to the big screen. Damn it!
But do you know who's not being stunted? The Boz.
Nope.
He does it in a couple of parts, but you
Okay.
can't tell as much on that one. Because he even said in his interview, he's like, there were certain things like going through the tunnel between cars,
I was
stuff like that. That was all stuntmen because
Okay.
they were like they
Insurance.
wouldn't let us do it, and
yeah.
also he's like, we wanted to do all our own stuff, but there's certain things you just let the experts do.
well,
basically.
you fooled me.
Yeah,
That-
it looked
his
like
his looked a lot better.
Yes.
But
but
it's tough to not call this the best chase. It's like the best action in this movie. It's hard not to.
no,
but
it
I have to
definitely
say
is.
the direction and the editing did really good when it was stuntman parts, him behind another car.
Yeah.
Or on the other side of a car where
Yeah,
you're
they
not
tried to
seeing.
do most of it from the back. There was those few like low angle front shots where it was really obvious. And I would assume like maybe one of the pickups is when you see Forsythe in the tunnel and he reaches over and cuts that dude.
Yeah, he does.
In the middle of this
so
race,
awesome.
in the middle of this race, sorry, this chase. It's not a race anymore. That was earlier. Boz is on one side of this car, and this guy's looking over like, the fuck you doing? And here comes Forsythe on the other, and he's like, what is happening? And Forsythe just slices this
He
dude's
says
arm.
something. He's like, "Hey," and then slices.
Oh, yeah,
him.
he just says,
I would-
hey, which is fucking wonderful.
I would never drive a car again.
Yeah, this guy swerves right into the Boz.
At least with
of
your
course
window
misses him.
open.
You know what happened last time I drove? I got stabbed. What? I was in the Alabama-LA Turnpike Tunnel. I got fucking stabbed through the window of my Chrysler. Terrifying.
And actually, I didn't notice the bandana the first time I watched this. Whitney was watching it with me. Well, she came in like partway through, and she's like, his bandana keeps disappearing. And I was like, no, it doesn't. And I watched, and I was like,
spot.
holy shit, it does. So this time I couldn't not see it.
So Bleep had said something the second time we watched this movie ever. You were happy to watch it a second time because you weren't as and like it wasn't just perfect. Now
hadn't
we're
seen
starting
how
to
it
Yeah,
where
you're
it went.
seeing the chinks in the armor.
Yeah.
Wait, oops.
Yeah.
you're seeing a little bit like behind the curtain, like
Yeah.
kind of some sore spots.
But see, I was so bedazzled last night that I didn't see any of this bandana stuff. Still, I'm all, nope, they're all really doing all these stunts.
Yeah.
And it looks great.
And that's the thing with a lot of these movies that I like to watch. I watch it once, and I'm like, usually I'll like it, but it's like the second time is when I know how I actually feel about it. Because I watched the first time, and I'm like, that was crazy. That was neat. I know they did that with no money. And then I watched the second time, and I go, oh, that movie's not very good, though.
You're looking at like food continuity. You're like,
Yeah.
that milk was half full just a minute ago. And,
Yep.
Oh,
That's
not
me.
in those budget movies. I'm not looking at that at all.
That's great.
They can't afford a script supervisor. That's insane.
They didn't change the clock back time, go back. That's always where my eyes go is to the clock. Even in real life, if there's a clock, my eyes look at it. Like I have
it
to.
is good pacing for like a scene when it is done well. You're like, a minute has gone by. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, or you see it at 1:30 and then you see it at 3:15.
You're like, they had a
And then you
long
see
day
it
of
back at
shooting.
1:30.
How many fucking takes you do from AM to PM?
That's why most of these clocks don't have batteries in them, guys.
Yeah.
I just put them all to 420 always.
Yep.
I bet you
I'd
would.
put him to 6'9", 6:45.
Gotcha. I'm a little slow.
Nice.
But this ends with two of my favorite things in these low budget movies.
This
A
accident,
dummy and an explosion.
This accident defies physics, and
Yes,
I
it
love
does.
Wonderful.
Oh,
This
yeah.
boat car, because this movie takes place in 91, but these aren't all 91 cars.
No.
These are like
no.
70 Chryslers.
We are in
You could
Alabama.
even get some 80s ones that are this big, but yeah, you're getting some 70s,
late
Yeah.
80s
70s.
if you
Yeah.
got some money.
Yeah.
But this,
I feel you.
This fucking boat comes flying down the road, and William Forsythe gets basically forced into it being right in front of it, and they collide. And this explosion is insane, and I don't think that's how motorcycles or cars work.
Big up Badama
The
Booma.
trunk blows up, first of all.
Oh no, my packet's of jet fuel.
Second of all, he doesn't go through the windshield.
He's like,
Dude,
he was trying to.
He does a full stop. This body hits this car and doesn't go into the windshield, doesn't go up and over. It just sits right there and burns.
And that's
It
how
is-
you could tell it was a dummy, because there's when they first immediately hit. I think they put it back, because when they first immediately hit, you see it fly off and go
Yeah.
backward, but its arms and legs don't move. It's still in motorcycle riding position.
so fucking awesome.
and I love a dummy. I like them better when they flop, but
Yeah. Oh, hear that? He loves a dummy.
I like a dummy
I don't know
just
why he
flying
married
through
me
the
then.
sky, just all floppy,
answer.
like off of a building or something. That's the best.
when you throw somebody out a
yeah.
window and then it's just falling down with like it's like a physics simulator thing, just flapping around.
I prefer it down a cliff. You get a lot of different bumps and bruises here.
that guy just cartwheeled?
Tumbling, yeah, the tumbling dummy is good.
Yeah. Because there's almost no way to make it look good or getting run over by anything. A dummy getting run over by a car or a train is just one of the best things to see.
I love the fact that out of the movies you've watched, you can say a dummy getting run over by a train.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I don't know right now what, but I'm sure I've seen it.
So this is what, the second big bada boom? Third? Second.
I've lost count. No, I think it's
think
the
it's just
third
two.
or fourth.
Yeah, there's a couple big bada booms.
There's a
I
few
mean,
at
you
the
get
end.
you get the one from the judge. Then you get the grenade one.
Oh, that's
then
right.
you
So this
get
is the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all much bigger than
And
they
you actually
would
get a
ever be.
little bada boom during the shoot the beer can off my head, because I don't
Yeah.
think we finished
Oh,
that
we didn't.
thought.
Yeah, the machine
That
gun.
William Forsythe does get the beer can shot off his head, and he's like, "You like that? Look what I got!"
yeah.
And pulls out a fully automatic submachine gun and just sprays this shit. And this abandoned car blows up because it's got fuel in it too.
Sure.
But
and the guy gets up like he's so stoked that that just
He's
happened
like,
to him. Too. Like,
I fucking love it. Yeah, dude. Like, just that's the gun he's using for this whole thing, by the way. Because the cops during this chase at one point, the cop gets behind him. Bad move. Because fucking Williams Ice just reaches back and sprays this cop to death with bullets.
Yeah.
And what were you saying? Similar MPK, some handheld.
Yeah,
in between
this one I actually don't know. Later, the one that Lance uses is really
that's
like
similar.
MP5 kind of look.
MP5, okay,
But
yeah.
this I don't know. This is like probably a brand new looking thing. It's all very compact and sleek. It almost looks like a Star Wars blaster.
futuristic Uzi.
Yeah, kind of an Uzi, but
I had a fat barrel.
it had a top-loading clip because there was no clip on the front of that anywhere. So it's like one of those P90s.
Welcome to Gun Chat.
Sun's out, guns out.
That's a good one. We live in Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sun's always
technically,
out.
the sun is still out right now.
Guns are usually out in Arizona too. Depends. There a border skirmish.
Nancy gets a call at Chains' place. Well, she doesn't get a call. She takes the call at Chains' place, and it's from the highway patrol
sister.
lady.
The
So
sister.
this is when they find out about John Huff. Or
There's
Joe
something
Huff.
weird about
Joe
him. He's
Huff,
got a
yeah.
second name and it's cross-referenced. I mean, how many aliases do you think a motherfucker's going to have?
Absolutely, especially in this exact line of like
Yep.
brotherhood. How many of these guys have? I guarantee you, your given name isn't Chains.
Well,
Well,
exactly.
you know what? Bad example. His mom named him Chains. I guarantee you, his name wasn't Tool. Nope, no. His dad named him Tool.
Big man fan. No,
Nice.
it's. But immediately afterwards, she confronts the boss with it, and that's exactly what he says. He's like, "Okay, so I have another name."
Valid reason. Now we have a
What-
bit of a thing for this part because we didn't
Same.
watch it with subtitles, where Bleep's wife kept making the same. All three times we've watched this, she makes the same joke because Nancy comes out and goes, "Tell me you're not a cop,"
Yep,
or like, "Say
I
you're
know.
not a cop," and Bleep's wife would say, "You're not a cop."
Yeah.
And we would die laughing. But then listening to it, it's hard to tell. He does say like, "Yeah, I'm a cop," but it does sound like you're a cop.
Yeah.
Oh.
He says,
No, he
yeah,
says-
I'm a cop.
Yeah, he
but-
says,
He
"You're
goes,
right, I'm a
"Yeah,
cop."
you're
Are you
right, I'm a cop."
satisfied?
Okay,
That's what it
you're
is.
right, I'm a
You're
cop.
right, I'm a cop. Sounds
So it
like
kinda sounds like
you're a cop. And we were just fucking dying. I mean, she was killing these on couch jokes. If you ever want to do a commentary, we just get a couple boxes of wine.
I have one.
All right,
Does she
we're
like
halfway
red?
there.
Or tell me you're not a cop. You're not a cop.
Yeah, tell me you're not a cop. You're not a cop.
I'm gonna just next time I see her, I'm just gonna be like, "You're not a cop."
You're not a cop.
So then we have another cool scene, the funeral pyre. They have fucking Ice, William Forsythe, on his bike.
Do you think it's a dummy or a him?
Oh,
Do you
it's
think
him.
he's
Oh,
It's him.
It's him.
Almost certainly, yeah.
Yep, I would
Okay.
put money
All the
down.
way up
Like
to
I don't
the end,
have
like-
it, but I
All
would
the way
put
up to the
money
end?
down.
Even when it's burning, it's him, okay?
Commitment.
But like, I mean, like all the way up until like when they're throwing the
Made out
gas
of
on
ice.
him, because you can see it's human flesh.
Uh-huh.
And then as soon as he Chains throws the torch up, it has a hard cut to a different angle, and then it's clearly a dummy that's on
Yeah.
fire. I mean, you can see it's weird, like it almost looks like a Bob Marley Halloween wig or something. Like it's like this puffy, curly, like it's not William Forsythe's hair.
Damn, we
It's not
watched
even-
it on 1080p. I wish I watched it in 4K.
Yeah.
No, it's only on 1080. It's not
Okay.
4K.
Oh, they don't
But
have
I
it on
just-
4K, or you don't have it.
They don't have it on 4K. That I
That's
know
why
of.
you don't have it.
Yeah, exactly. This was from Kino Lorber.
But this is the second thing I'm taking from this movie. I already have his wife planning my funeral. This is how I'm going. Except again, it won't be a motorcycle. It'll be like a pow pow power wheel.
That's how he wants to go, except in a grocery cart.
Well, because your house motorcycle's staying there.
Yeah,
you know,
no.
we
The
gotta
house
just rev
motorcycle
that.
is
Yeah.
It's Kage's now.
now it's structurally integral to my house.
No, yeah, I always wanted. I want to be put in a shopping cart and like push down some stairs, but like it's like a Viking funeral. But we don't have water here.
But it's like a
So,
jackass.
Bam is
Viking
there.
funeral. Bam Margera
So you
is there.
push me, and then as I'm tumbling, someone has to try to hit me with an arrow and light me on fire.
Okay, well, I can help
I'm
with
really
planning
good.
You
Good.
could also
everything
just
right
use
now.
phosphorus rounds if you think they'll get far
This
enough.
is the most excited I've ever seen Bleep. He is so excited to try and shoot your corpse with a fucking
No, I don't have to do
flaming
that. I'll
arrow.
help. I'll push the cart. I'll set up anything you guys
All right,
need.
right
all
before I
right?
die, I just need to record a little video clip that's like, "I'm Derek, and this is my funeral."
I am really good at archery. I can go right and left.
Someone get me. And if I get to the bottom and no one lit me on fire,
Haul it
haul it
back
back
up.
up. And we're looking for like those stairs from The Exorcist. Like, just
Oh
deep.
Jesus! Well,
Or
then you're
the
gonna have
ones
to.
from the
You're gonna
Joker,
tumble
maybe?
out.
I'm thinking Ace Ventura ones where the slinky goes down. That one.
It's Derek. Everyone shoots
I
a
mean,
Derek.
it doesn't have to be a shopping cart. You could put me in like a canoe. It'd probably be easier to shoot because I wouldn't tumble.
A canoe
Yeah.
would be great.
Yes.
A great
And it's more like a
funeral.
Viking funeral.
Yeah, it's an Arizona Viking funeral.
Done.
Up in a canoe with the oars and the goggles.
This is
Because
getting better.
everything's taped to you. We'll put 40s in each hand also.
No, they would knowing Derek. It's not 40s.
Whiskey.
It's fucking 22 ounce bottles of barrel aged stout. I'm doing Edward 22 ounce hands. It has a less effective ring, but the alcohol is much.
It's
more
actually
potent.
stronger.
It might help catch me on fire, depending on
That's
how
what I
high.
said. Put
Just
him in
just
whiskey.
put whiskey. Yeah, there we go.
Whiskey in his hands.
Like you didn't die drunk. You're gonna go up like a cotton ball.
So wait, at
soaked
his
in
funeral,
gin.
he's not even dead yet.
The only way I won't die drunk is if I die falling out of bed when I wake up in the morning.
You might still be
drunk.
drunk. You'll still be drunk.
I think you're still drunk if you're falling out of your bed, babe.
I could just be because I'm old. So anyway, we watched a movie called Stone Cold. This does have something to do with it. It's a funeral. They light that dude on fire, but yeah, when all these bikers start firing off their guns into the air,
They're really doing it.
that was not planned. These guys really started firing guns into the air. I think it was the girl that played Nancy. Was just like, it's just one of the most terrifying things I've ever experienced.
You don't know that's gonna happen? Yeah.
Well, they're like one of them is I don't know what it's called, like a shotgun, almost like a pump shotgun, but
He's got
it's
the pistol grip
the
on
pistol
it?
grip,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
just pistol gripping shotgun
That's
into
like
the
a fucking
sky.
assault
Like,
one. We saw that. Oh, John Wick had one that we saw
Yeah.
recently. Newer than this.
I hope nobody died in the making of this.
I'm
Not-
surprised.
I didn't see any in memoriam at the end or anything.
Yeah.
they
so.
just had a good time then. Like this is just a fucking blast.
You hire bikers, you get bikers.
Yeah.
They may
This
have
is-
been over by like the lake or something. To, like near the
Well,
water to where
does
there
that
was
make it
nobody.
better?
Well, there was nobody around, so like
You're
you
still
think
there.
Up comes down, but it's at an angle, so it's not coming down on
Hope it's at
You
an
don't even
angle.
have to like
Okay, but-
for this movie. You don't even have to hire like EMTs. You just have clubhouse moms that are taking care of everyone.
That's right.
Like
We know how to stitch.
no
get my-
catering,
get my
food's
stitches.
done. Old ladies are taking care of food. Like gosh,
Henriksen had a line in his interview, and it's a recent interview, not super recent, but he's much older. Like if anybody's seen him recently, it makes me sad because I don't think he's long for this world.
I said it
That's
last
what
night.
Jack
Where
said,
I was like,
yeah.
we're gonna lose this precious man.
But on his interviews, he's getting there, but he still remembers everything. He just sits down and he's like, oh yeah, it was so and so, 1991, whatever. But he had a line about the bikers, and he's like, yeah, sometimes they were trouble, but aren't we all?
Aww. I love him so much now.
Well, I guess they kept going
always
to
have,
him.
but
They kept
more.
going to him to like help them out because he got them on there, and the production didn't want to pay him enough, or paid him and didn't pay him for their bikes or something. And he went to them and was like, "Hey, you need to pay them for their bikes, and you need to make sure they're getting paid enough." And then so whenever anything came up, the biker guys went to Henriksen, which is probably good for the producer.
yeah.
yeah.
Because then one of the things he mentioned was like, what, they're not going to pay for my flats, or they're not going to pay for, and it's like, well, he's like, I'll take care of you. So he
Well-
was kind of the liaison for the
You
biker
gotta
gang.
think that just helps his character too. Like he's just wheeling and dealing for these guys.
Yeah.
Like getting
100%.
immersed in the culture more. You know?
100%.
Acting like a boss.
Like, I got you, brother.
Do you know who one of the producers was?
Your mom?
Michael Douglas.
Oh, I remember seeing that online.
not your mom.
It was Michael
No.
Douglas,
Well-
but he had his name taken off of it. 'Cause
Why?
He didn't want to have anything to do
You
with
fucking coward.
Well,
it. Yeah, he's a coward.
yeah,
go
Who?
eat, go eat some puss. Michael
Eat some.
Douglas.
Is a coward?
Yeah.
Now he is.
Taking your name off the production.
Oh,
She missed that part.
I did. I was
Too
holding a
busy
side
thinking about that
conversation.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
No, we were talking about your mom.
Oh. I'm on to Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I'm sorry, what? It doesn't matter. All right.
You'll hear it in post.
So yeah, it's his production company, Stone Production from Romancing the Stone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. See, I thought it was a Stone Group or something. I
No.
thought
Like
that was
Stone
a reference
Cold,
to this movie.
yeah.
And there's one
I was
other
like,
movie
oh, that's
like-
how big this movie is. That there's a whole production
Well,
company
actually,
named after the movie.
you'll see that a lot of times because they'll be like, this is Stone Cold Pictures. And then that
Yeah.
company disappears after the movie's made.
That's
That
what I
company
figured.
exists as an LLC,
Okay, but
so
this
people can
was-
sue the company.
This
that-
actually happened to be
Romancing the
Michael
Stone
Douglas's company. He
name.
named after
Okay.
Romancing the Stone. They did one other movie that I wanted to mention. I can't remember it, but I will come to it. There was a porn.
Why does it star his wife?
Yeah.
So we get to the drug deal, and it's kind of cool here. The driver is obviously a cop. We know that because we know that this is coming from the cops. But he starts haggling for more money.
Oh, but I have a point I want to make. I'm sorry, because Boz says these guys, I need this, and I need 30 gallons. Nobody's checking this. You don't need 30 gallons of it. You could put water.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It won't go up like this, though.
Okay, I definitely retract my statement because I want this.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
So he's saying he wants 10% instead of 5%, which I'm like, hey, that seems fair.
Yeah,
I want
I'm making
100,000
$50,000,
Yeah.
and you sell this for $1 million.
Exactly.
I'm not even getting 10%.
You should have just offered him 7.5, and you don't have to deal with any bullshit.
But it's so the Boz can cement his
Yeah.
role,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
He shoots this dude.
Exactly.
Obviously, they're squibs. I'm like, man, these cops got some good squibs.
But, well, FBI.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
FBI got them good squibs.
They got movie quality
Yeah,
squibs.
they got
FBI
that,
called
witness
Francis Ford
relocation.
Coppola, and they were like, hey, you have any squibs left over from when, James Caan got shot up there?
Godfather.
Yeah. I was trying to think of James Caan.
Oh, okay.
I was like, Scott? No,
Sonny
that's
Corleone.
the lesser Caan.
That's the lesser con.
But so the Boz shoots him, and he was obviously a cop, and we see him later taking it off. He's like, I died real good.
Oh, I do have to mention we didn't talk about William Forsythe's final words. Just, I mean, like a boss.
Oh,
blood
yeah.
face, burnt up. Fuck you, cop. And
Yep.
he
Yeah,
dies.
fuck you,
I
cop.
thought
Very
about that while we were
Tupac of
watching
him.
it. Exactly. I thought about that when we were watching it. I was like, those were your final words, and it makes so much sense.
You're such a fucking badass, man. Just fuck you, cop. Oh, it's great.
Tell my mother I said, fuck you, cop.
Your mom would hear that, like, yeah, it makes sense.
Boz is driving the truck, and there's bikers leading them, and they get redirected to an alternate route. So the FBI is waiting. So something's up, right? They know
Yeah.
something's going on. Because I'm sure Nancy told Chains about Joe Huff.
No, she didn't. They want you to think that.
Okay.
She didn't. I think this is just
No,
the Brotherhood
yeah.
being very cautious.
Well, and
He was
also-
just like, you know what? We're going to do it this way.
It might have to do with ice dying, too. Because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's real convenient. That's real weird. The
Yeah.
guy who suspected you
Yeah.
also
Well,
happens
they-
to now be dead.
They also wanted to tip off that it might be her, but obviously it's not.
Uh-huh.
It was later, but they were
No.
like they wanted to guide you to it might be her.
Because Sam McMurray calls the Boz on the radio, and he's like, hey, you went a different route, Huff, or whatever. And he's like, hey, thanks for fucking that up.
outing me.
He's like, meet your witness.
A moment between those two earlier in the bathroom, McMurray wanted to cut the whole thing off. Well, because he's like, Benjamin Franklin took a shit in that toilet and no one ever flushed it. It's great. But he wanted to call the whole thing off. And then he's like, no, we can keep going. Bob's like, we can keep going further. He's like, you got a witness? And the way that he says it, he says Chains old lady, but it sounds like an Irish fella named Chains old lady. And we were having a bunch of fun with that.
chainsaw lady.
Oh, and the bike around here, Chains old lady.
According to the actress, whose name I've forgotten now, but I said it
That's a
earlier.
shillelagh.
Well, it's because she's never been in anything else. Ariana something, I think. But it doesn't matter. She
Not
said
Grande.
in her interview that the original version of the script, the one with the family,
Mm-hmm.
also had her surviving. And she's like, and I thought it was really good. It's a good message for young women. And da-da-da. She's like, because it's like, I broke my chains because my boyfriend's name was Chains. And I was just like, bro.
No, she needed to die.
Yeah. She didn't need to
Oh,
live.
by the way, she dies.
She's just pushing for director's
Oh,
cut
sorry.
that has her in the movie at the end.
yeah, she's like, another director's cut. And then I'll do another interview.
It's a great message.
It'll be 2 hours.
I'd like to set a booth up at a con, and I don't have
Yeah.
enough screen time for that.
This is cult classic.
It is, dude.
But AWOL tells Boz that they did the switch because it's time to crack the whip. And if you have subtitles on, whip is capitalized to let you know. Because if you're just listening, you're like, crack the whip, got it. Because you'll forget that one scene they told you that guy's name was
Whip.
Whipperton.
Not Chip.
Whip Chip.
Now we are in the final act of this movie.
Yeah,
and
the
it is
Boz-
a glorious one.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, so
It
much.
kicks off
Start
great.
ramping up.
It kicks
But
off.
that's an absurd statement. I'm sorry.
Because
It's
you
just
don't
been
think that
ramped
you're
up.
like, all right, this guy just got lit on fire on his motorcycle.
Oh, I'm sorry. That guy had a hand grenade thrown at him from a fucking Cadillac. This movie's been ramped up, and
Well,
you're not
it-
wrong to say that.
it ramps the fuck up, though.
The rising action.
They turned it
is-
up to 11.
This is 11.
Act 3 kicks off with the Boz chasing the truck down, shooting out like the hydraulic connector thing so the trailer comes off.
Good
and this
shot.
thing crashes into this fucking gas
Gas
station
station.
and it just goes the fuck up.
Kabloomy.
Kills a small family that was running it. I'm sure. Fuck.
Well, you could see the explosives because you see the trailer be like the front and then the middle and then the back go off all in like succession. I'm like, I don't care. Make it bigger.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like there's any. It's not a model, right? I mean, this is a gas station.
Yeah, this is an abandoned
Being
gas
exploded.
station. And
I
this
don't
is
think they used a
great.
model for the helicopter.
No.
We'll get to that, but I have a theory on what they did.
Oh yeah.
yeah, no,
By the way,
I'm-
there's a helicopter.
Ramping it up and away.
Well, because it turns into January 6th, but like with preparation.
Oh God, terrifying statement.
Yes. So huge bada boom. AWOL is now at the army place buying or renting because he has to bring it back. Renting some guns and a helicopter from the army.
Same price as last time. So
Yeah.
we've done this before.
And
Remember,
and he used
bring
to
it back.
serve with him, so he has like old school repertoire with him. Was
Yep.
that
Old school
like,
cred.
Yeah, you know I can fly this thing faster than anybody on this base.
Just bring it back or we're both dead.
It wasn't Nancy.
Well,
You're right.
I
Because this
think
next
he's gonna be
scene.
dead. This helicopter ain't coming back, pal. Why do I feel like I'm seeing her for the very last time? Millennium Falcon.
Oh
reference.
wait, well while he's in the truck when he gets the thing from McMurray, she goes, "You're a fucking cop." I'm like, "Yeah, I told you."
He didn't lie. That's why he did it. He's like, yeah, I'm a cop. You said you weren't a cop. No, I actually said I was. I just did a funny voice. You thought I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing it funny. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a cop."
He was doing his version
But
of
like in a
snark.
tough guy thing. Yeah, I'm
We're
a
gonna have to
cop.
get the script. Is
Yeah.
it "You're right, I'm a cop," or is it "Yeah, I'm a cop"?
It said,
He
"Yeah."
he says, "You're right. I'm a cop."
All right.
Satisfied. He ends with satisfied, which is what gives it that sarcastic.
Yeah. So yeah,
But it
She
wasn't.
wasn't
It wasn't
satisfied.
Nancy. It wasn't Nancy that
She
sold
didn't
him
even
out.
know.
It was Ear Guy.
Yep.
Ear Guy is back because you should have fucking locked that dude up.
or killed him.
Disappear him at the least.
And he sold out the boss. And this is when Lance Henriksen looks at him and says, "God forgives, the Brotherhood doesn't." But then he kills Ear Guy.
He puts he empties the six-shooter revolver and just puts 3 bullets in it.
We've missed a whole scene, by the way.
Yes,
Did we?
and that's what
Okay.
made me think of it.
All right, go
Come
for
on,
it.
bleep, give it.
All that Jack.
So we missed the scene where the Army National Guard now has been stopping their patrol.
Oh,
And because I think ICE is alive for this. This is pre-ICE's finding out Boz is undercover. So these 2 National Guard guys are covering a bridge and just wants to see the registration for all their bikes, just to be a fucking dick, because that's what Whip wants. And goddamn Lance Henriksen just pulls a gun on these guys like I serve a higher power or something along those lines, and doesn't shoot him here. Takes him, kidnaps him. And
Keeps
now
him
we
captive here.
cut to Mudfish
Oh, yeah.
building boxes around them.
Yep.
And this is the line
Alive
that
in their garage or whatever out in the
Yep,
compound.
Stands
They're
him
alive,
up.
Stands him up. And this is the line that I sent you because it's him and Ice. He's like, better
That's
be
right.
first in hell than second in heaven. And just shoots these fucking dudes dead and pretty much leaves them for Whip to find.
Yeah,
Yeah.
delivers them for Whip.
Well, you say delivers. We noticed people unloading them from the back of an ambulance and loading them onto a bridge. This is the opposite of what you should do with dead bodies. You should
Yeah.
be taking them from bridges to an ambulance.
they got somebody that
Like,
has
get him
an
out
ammo.
here in the dark. You take a look at him on this
I can't get a
bridge,
good look
damn
at him
it.
in that well-lit ambulance. Bring him out to the moonlight.
Bring him to where they
a full
kidnapped
moon.
him from.
All right, I want to reenact it with their bodies. I need their bodies out here on the bridge and like 10 feet of string.
And this is
But
where
also-
Nancy's freaking out. And she's like, "I want to get out of here." Da da da. And he's like, "Don't forget you're branded."
Yeah.
Okay, but also now the jacket scene. Are we there yet or no?
No, we passed the jacket
Oh, yeah.
scene.
Okay, the jacket. But
So
did we
there-
talk about the greatness of that jacket scene
No.
by Lance?
You'll say it, but I'm going to set it up. It was right after the Boz threw Lance on the table, yada
Yeah.
yada. Lance starts giving a speech about his biker gang, his brotherhood, and he does this phenomenal work.
Okay, you're gonna know it better than I, but he is referring to the colors and the patch on the back of the jacket, and his delivery is great. Do you remember it or no?
Yeah, he's got the gun and he's using Guts' back,
back
and
patch.
he goes across. It's really hard to tell this without pantomiming it, so just bear with me. But he takes the gun and drags it across the letters, and he's like, "This is my clan." And then he taps the fucking, or he pantomimes a cross with the barrel over the cross. He's like, "This is my cross." And he taps the SS. He's like, "These are my colors." and they don't fucking run. You know, something like that. The Walking Dead out there don't give a shit about this, but this is mine. You have to watch that scene to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because it's
Lance was killing
absolutely
it.
captivating watching him use this gun as a laser pointer.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, there was a few scenes I missed.
It's very physical. Is probably why you didn't write it down, but like we just the third time watching it, we're like, good
Also,
God.
just enthralled by Lance Henriksen.
Yeah.
Made me want to fucking watch Hard Target really bad.
I believe that he actually ran
There's a
an
trailer
MC.
for Hard Target on this disc, and I saw it in the special features, and I was like, well, I should watch Hard Target.
Yes. That's all I wanted to do after we finished this last night, but we didn't have the time.
I did read that some military branch was using the "God forgives, the Brotherhood doesn't" line as like their like slogan until like the early 2000s when they found out it originated with the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
And they were like, oh, maybe we don't do that.
Hey, we're still using the Punisher skull for cops, so.
Oh God, I don't fucking understand that.
And I see that, and I'm like, oh, so you've never read a comic book.
That's all
Got
it
it.
is. That's all it is.
You know that you saw this cool skull with a flag, and you were like, yeah,
Hey,
flag
just
skull.
because you watched the Tom Jane Punisher, don't come over here and come all high and
No,
mighty. at
give me the good one. What's his name? Bernthal.
Rolf Dungren.
Rolf Dungren.
Dolph Lundgren.
Rolf-
He's the original Punisher from like 88, 89.
I like the other one.
Yeah, you know, Rolf Gungan.
You like the show one.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm strictly speaking movies.
Oh, sorry, I forgot
it
what
goes in
podcast I
order.
was on.
And then
Dolph
Ray
Lund-
Winstone? Or no, not
Whoa.
Ray Winstone.
It goes Dolph first, then Ray Stevenson second, and Tom
Stevenson.
Jane comes in a huge third, like way back there.
Yeah, well, it's not all his fault. It's also his villain's fault. John Travolta.
John Travolta and that hair. But you get some good Will Patton, so
When don't you get Goodwill Patton?
in Postman.
No, that was Goodwill Patton.
That was Goodwill Patton.
It was okay.
You have to tell him.
I mean, if
not
that's
us.
his worst, then give it to me, baby.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So anyway, Chains decides to tell Boz. He's like, "No, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm gonna break your heart." And then Chains shoots his own girlfriend.
I don't understand why this Hispanic snitch didn't think that this guy that has swastika flags
Yeah.
all around his
Oh,
wall.
Right?
Yeah. That's I started with that. He killed that dude right out of the gate.
Yeah,
right?
and we all saw it coming.
Yeah.
Everybody in there saw it coming,
Yep.
except for the one guy.
He's like, "Whoa, Nazi! I thought we had a deal."
I thought you were just a historian.
Thought you appreciated the culture of it.
It's just the heritage.
I thought you liked their suits and hate their troops.
You guys a big fan of what was it? Versace? No,
No, Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss designed all the Nazi uniforms, if you didn't know.
Ugh.
There's other companies that did wear shit.
I
we'll get
like
into
their
some other
fashions,
time.
but I hate the fascists.
There you go. And then he comes up and he puts a gun to Boz's head.
Yeah, and they take him hostage.
Well, no, did we glance over? He just shoots Nancy, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was-
yeah,
I
he
said
did it.
He shot Nancy.
And he says a line at one point in this room where he says, "Imagine the future, because you ain't in it."
No, that's. Oh, he does say that.
He says
No,
in
no.
this movie.
Oh, okay.
And then it gets clapped back.
Yeah,
To him.
exactly.
Come at me, bro. Come at me, Boz.
So this is where January 6th kicks off. Chains has cut his hair, shaved, taken a shower, things he's never done before.
He bathed. He bathed. That's a big one.
And,
what is he
wins that
wearing?
outdoor shower.
Please describe what he is wearing.
He's pretending to be a priest.
Oh,
He's got the black robe that kind of looks like you're a fighter from an anime.
Yeah.
it's
the
very
little white
fire
collar.
and brimstone, like priest robe.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
doesn't have that wide, flat brimmed hat.
Yeah.
That would make it terrifying. You would instantly know that guy walking up like he's doing something. Arrest that guy.
He's got guns.
Don't let him in this fucking
There's a
building.
gun under that cloak. I know.
If he
it,
doesn't have
goddammit.
guns, he has at least 2 samurai.
And it
swords.
does set it off. Like the wand goes off, but he's like, oh, it's just my rosary.
It's just my rosary that's mostly wood and has a metal cross on it.
Right.
You know, just as he's holding it up, I'm like, yeah,
You're
you
all
need
right,
more
Father.
metal rosary
Yeah.
for that.
I've dated chicks with more metal in them.
Salute to that.
And AWOL has Boz tied up on the chopper with nameless biker. I don't think this one ever got a name.
No, poor fella doesn't get a name. Blowy the biker.
And the Boz is trying to break out, and he eventually breaks out of these chains, or
Zip
ties.
He does something
it was
I would
rope.
never do. It is rope.
Are there just sparks flying? Right?
But then even beyond that, he grabs a line and just rips it off so something starts spraying out. I'm like, this could be important.
It's hydraulic fluid.
Yeah, it looks like it's
1,000%.
hydraulic fluid.
It must have, the way that it didn't react, I think it was windshield wiper fluid.
Oh, it looked like
no, it's-
oil or
Yeah,
hydraulic
something
fluid.
important.
It's a needed fluid. That's
Yes.
why it was there in the first place.
There's not much on this helicopter you should probably destroy if you want it to not crash.
But they're dumb for tying them next to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just gonna tie up the Terminator. It'll be fine.
You know what you do? You tape him up to a hockey stick, a la Dutch. And just, hands and feet. You got him on the fucking little carrier.
Hockey, it's a
He
football
ain't
player's
getting out of
But he ends up breaking out and tussles with these dudes, with this dude on the chopper. And
He was
finds
supposed
a
to-
grenade, right? Is
No.
what ends up happening?
He was supposed to have a bomb strapped to him, and they were going to
Oh, that's
throw
the
him out.
bomb, right?
And-
Timed bomb, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and they were like, okay, strap it to him and throw him out the helicopter at 20 seconds.
Leather coat, black shoes, no shirt. Boz is a time bomb.
But they wait so long. He's like, okay, I'm going to put it on him now. And it's like, dude, it's 30 seconds.
It
You
should've been
had
on
2
him
minutes. Like,
when you left, you arm it while it's on him.
yeah. And they have this tussle, and the bomb gets down to like 3 seconds. And so Boz sticks it in this dude's vest and just shoves him out of the helicopter barely.
Yeah.
I wanted a snappy line here.
Yeah.
Looks like you invested in yourself or something like that.
He's not cool enough to be Arnold.
I know, but I still want it. He had the fucking clean up an aisle 4 line.
He did.
A precedence was set that he can do it.
They probably gave him one-liners, and then when he did them, they're like, "Now we'll cut it." It's
yeah. Damn. I just love me a cheesy one-liner though.
And
That's
then
when
he
I
like,
crush up a Cheeto and sniff it.
and then he has AWOL in a chokehold.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was a great idea for the guy flying your helicopter.
AWOL has the
Yeah.
line though. He's like, I know how to fly this thing. Do you? And Boz is like, you want to find out?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we'll figure it out real fucking quick.
And meanwhile, back at the Capitol building, the Supreme Court of Alabama or Mississippi, same thing,
Mississippi, Alabama.
Miss Obama.
decides that they're going to put Trouble to death. By the way, did anybody else watch this the whole time and think that Trouble was just Tamor Morris, who stopped aging in '91 and looks the same now?
Django Fett. Boba Fett.
Okay.
Boba
Oh, okay, yeah, I could see that.
Not much else.
No, he was in Hunt for the Wilder People? ? He was in one
Tams?
of those movies.
I don't remember him from Hunt for
Maybe
the
it wasn't
Wilder
that
People.
one. He was in one of those. We watched like 3 in a row. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
But he was
Okay.
definitely in at least one of them. Either way.
I call him Tams. That's how well I know him.
Django Fett from the
Episode
episode
two.
3? 2?
Yeah.
And now Boba Fett.
And yeah, he's a clone, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
same guy.
Jingle
Tamor
Boba.
Morrison.
That's what all I could think. He's shaved head with like lumps in it.
I kind of thought of the dude that's in Mad Max that has like the feathers and the mohawk.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if this guy's anybody. I didn't look him up. I
Yeah.
didn't recognize him enough.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's the guy I just said, though.
It might be.
It might be.
And that's when Chains gets up and opens fire in this courtroom.
Oh, no,
First
he
he
puts-
shoots through who I don't even know who this guy is.
The guy that got shot with the squibs. He says, "This time you die for real."
Oh,
and
Yeah.
fucking runs him through as you would
I
run
didn't
somebody through with a
recognize him for
sword.
some reason.
He does that with a fully automatic weapon.
And then he stands up and kills all of the judges.
Yeah.
With no like hesitation, no missing, no like, oh, gotta go back to that guy. Just one
Nope.
sweep. All
You
the
know what?
judges are dead.
That might still need to happen.
I mean, he's terrifying.
He does have some line to Whipperton. Oh, he just says we're gonna break the whip or whatever the fuck he
Crack
says.
the whip.
Yeah. Nothing important.
Crack that whip.
And
Not
now
now,
they-
buddy.
And now the Capitol building is filled with bikers, and apparently this scene. So they got permission. They had permits. Obviously, they're at the Capitol building. They started doing their stuff. They had bikes driving around inside and everything.
A clown car of a moving truck.
Yep.
Because
And-
I don't know how many bikes you had in this thing. Dude.
Well, like apparently in real life though, when they started shooting, people were like, "No, you can't do this." And they're like, "Yeah, we can because we have permits. So
Yeah.
try again, buddy."
It's just a piece of paper with a picture of Lance says, "I can do what I want."
Do what I want, bitch.
I also read
And
that
there's 5 guys
apparently,
behind him at any given time saying, yeah.
Well, this checks out.
I'm sure these things are unrelated, but apparently the real governor of Alabama, which is where I think this was shot. might have been
Yeah,
Mississippi.
there's a thanks to
Because it
Alabama
went back
at
and
the end,
forth.
right?
It went
No.
back and forth.
Thanks to Arkansas.
Thanks to Arkansas
Oh, they also
at the
I
end.
think either way,
Yeah.
the governor of the state that this Capitol building is from was
Bill
actually
Clinton
like
was
kicked
there
out.
at the time.
Oh.
But he was actually kicked out as governor like days after all this stuff. And I'm
Oh,
I'm
man.
sure it's unrelated.
Yeah.
But-
The wheels take a little longer than that to get rolling.
Yeah, but it seems like it's like people were like, "Oh man, did you see that? The governor let them shoot a movie, and they kicked him out."
And it wasn't even that good at the time. At the time.
I love Lance Henriksen. That's what he says to him. He says, "In moments like this, he's got the gun on Whipperton, on Whip. He says, in moments like this, I always think of my father's last words, which were, 'Don't, son, that gun is loaded.'" And just fucking blows this dude away. It's fucking brutal.
I love there's no hesitation on shooting in this. There's
Oh,
so many
no.
times where people are like, "Oh no, blah blah blah,"
Oh,
and then the
movies
gun.
where they just want to talk instead of shooting?
Nope, just
These
shoot
guys
'em
are
all
just like,
dead.
nah.
Yeah.
They didn't have a script.
So they're going
Yeah.
through
Lance
this.
Henriksen's like, I got a line, bro.
Yeah, I just improvised one line. There you go.
And it's a
Boom.
great
It's
it's
a good
fucking
fucking
great
line.
improv.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, this gang is rolling through the Capitol, taking hostages, yada yada.
Riding
Meanwhile,
motorcycles through
just
the
having
halls.
having a fucking time.
AWOL takes this chopper down. This
Bosworth-
thing is a foot off the fucking ground.
We were in fucking just wowie wows about
Yeah.
this. It is going right over people's fucking heads.
Yeah.
Oh, as it's approaching the
Yeah. I'm like, have they
Holy
never heard of
shit.
Twilight Zone?
No. No one learned from this.
There were no explosions and it was daytime. It's fine.
This guy is so close to the ground. I'm like, a one bad take and this movie is now not happening.
You just
Yeah.
killed 30 people conservatively. Like,
And that was actually outside the Capitol building too. That's part of what was pissing people off. Was they're like, dude, this helicopter is feet off the ground outside of our government's seat.
this is a CGI helicopter. As soon
never
as
would this
technology
happen
catches
now.
up, like,
Oh,
as
yeah.
soon as
This
you
would
can.
not happen now.
You can't. There's no
No.
fucking way they're letting you fly this low. But then it gets up a little higher, and Bosworth jumps from it, not to the roof, through a fucking window onto the floor. I mean, you should be dead.
Yeah,
Yep.
you fell 4 stories at least.
But then you spryly pop up and start kicking ass.
yeah,
Thank God.
Well, he's the boss.
He is. He's
Chains-
the boss around.
You gotta pay the cause to be the boss. Wait, what?
That's why the one-liners didn't work. They're always about him. This is Boz in effect. Can we take that again? There's
can we
got to
just
be
call this
something better.
Boz Cold?
Stone Boz. I don't care. You call it Boz. I don't. Just whatever you want.
But Chains, when he realizes that
Butt chains.
butt Chains, when he realizes
I've
that
seen that one.
That's all the
the
third.
boss is there, he's like, all right, everybody, fuck it, plans off, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Like, find your own way out.
Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice like all of my soldiers to save yourself, Trouble, Mudfish, and I think the Greek. Someone's
Yeah.
called the Greek.
And AWOL is only waiting for Chains.
Uh-huh.
Because AWOL is hovering outside the building.
He didn't hear the whole "everybody's off" thing. I don't think.
Well,
But I
he's
think
telling
he's only
Chains,
there-
though, towards the end, he's like, I got to get out of here. Like, things are getting rough. Like, you've
Chains
gotta
ain't
hurry.
hearing it because he does not have the
Yeah,
walkie
he doesn't
anymore.
know
Yeah.
that. But he's just talking to Chains. I don't think he gives a fuck about the rest of these people. But Mudfish, who's the T2 guy, he's holding a woman hostage in the window, and he's just yelling at the cops, like, get back or I'll fucking... Well, he has a line about, I'll paint her brain... Like, it's something that sounded like another improvised one. I didn't
Mississippi's
write
going to
it down.
burn tonight.
He has that one. He says something about her brains or her liver all over something. It doesn't matter. He's
I'll
talking
paint her
shit.
walls with her liver.
Yeah, something like that. And the boss is sneaking up, and Guts sees him and doesn't say anything.
Oh, we didn't talk about a
Oh.
fingerless Gut either. Gut
Gut.
criticized
I forgot about that.
Chains, and Chains is like, dude, fuck you, and
So
put his
he's
hand into his
fingerless Gut
spokes.
now.
So he's fingerless Gut.
But
yeah.
he doesn't sell out to Boz, and he turns around, and then but Mudfish saw him turning back, and he tries to warn Boz. He gets blown away by Mudfish.
So now he's
No hesitation though. Like, nah, are you warning against? Are you gonna
Yeah.
go for Boz? Nope.
Yep, he's
Just
fuck
blow
you.
him away.
these
Yep.
are some ready to kill
I was
motherfuckers.
gonna paint this place with her fucking liver. So I'm definitely shooting you, buddy.
I'm ready to shoot someone.
Well, after you paint the
Fingerless asshole. You
Once
ain't got
you
no
paint
guts,
the-
you son of a bitch.
once you paint the walls, with her liver, the floor needs to match now.
Yeah,
Like,
you gotta have guts. You gotta
Oh,
match
shit, I gotta
guts
get
with them livers.
the liver doesn't go with those guts at all.
Boz, we need a piece of your hair. Damn it, I'm gonna shoot you in your head. Nope, that's not happening though. All right.
That's right.
No, because the Boz
Boz right.
blows this dude out the fucking window with this
Yeah, he
shotgun.
does.
Boz, right.
Oh, and I do want to go to one more thing when they first start tying the bomb to Boz. They take a long pause you shouldn't take, where he goes, "We are gonna blow your ass." out of the sky.
But yeah, we're gonna blow your ass.
Collect that thought.
Savor.
Collect that thought a little more, please.
Well, that guy that's the one that was in Phantom of the Mall, he seems like he also maybe did some adult pictures. So he said that, and he's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to continue." Fuck. There was
Sorry,
more.
different movie.
I was. Those are also improvised.
I was doing one called Bone Bold.
We are gonna blow your ass.
Out of the sky.
Anyway, this biker that's been driving around with Lance Henriksen on the back. Henriksen gets off and he's like, "Go ram Brian Bosworth with your motorcycle." Seems like it'll work out. There's not a giant
Indoors,
window.
Indoors, the Capitol.
Yes,
halls,
inside
yeah.
the Capitol building.
He doesn't have a gun.
Well, what? How does he get this guy off of his bike?
He shoots him.
He
Does
does
he?
have
Oh,
a
he
gun.
does have a
I was
gun.
like, all he
being
has to do is
Okay.
sidestep.
Yeah.
But this, I wish the guy was on the bike when it went out the window. It would have made this next scene even cooler. But this like errant motorcycle just flies out the window and takes out this fucking helicopter.
Yes, it
Lands
does.
right on top
One.
of it. And-
Inside of it. Because the doors are open.
Oh, it's inside of it.
Oh, okay. I thought it hit like the blades, like sideways, kind of.
Well,
I don't know. It
Could've
doesn't,
hit the
doesn't
blades
matter.
in the open door.
It doesn't matter because it explodes. Maybe because that fluid's all over. I don't.
you got hydraulic fluid everywhere in this helicopter, pal.
well, the bike exploded inside and then blew up the helicopter. Because, anything
Which-
that gets hit by anything explodes.
Which, like you said earlier, this isn't a miniature
Don't touch that,
helicopter.
it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
So, yes, this is not a miniature. I think they have it like a decommissioned one on a crane
Yes.
or a forklift because you can tell it's not a miniature.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
this
life
thing
size.
crashes to the ground and explodes.
I think they just lifted it up with the crane or something, just
and then dropped it.
Yep,
Yeah.
on fire.
They were saying, someone said in one of the interviews, like all that grass, those flowers, the sidewalk, the side of that building, just torched. It was just a huge fireball.
Man, Arkansas hates this movie, or wherever it actually was filmed, this part.
So the boss chases down Chains, and they have a show off, but it's not really a fight because
Not at all.
Lance Henriksen versus Brian Bosworth.
Lance pulls the gun. You're like, all right, he's got a leg up on him. And Boz just like bitch smacks the gun out of his hand, like, get that fucking out of here. And now I'm going to pick you up and shake you to death.
Yep. And this is where I absolutely loved the makeup, the fucking blood and everything. They even got like bloody mess in Lance's hair.
Yeah.
And it was just like the perfect cut right here and just blood all over his neck.
This is an
It was
example.
fucking beautiful.
It's an example of the right people giving a shit.
Quit CGing that shit.
Well, they never will, but
It's so much cheaper. No, it's not. You have to hire 400 people to do it. They're probably not paying them enough.
probably not.
Yeah, they have Korean animators. They're
Actually,
like, yeah,
there is
there you
a
go.
the
Yep.
after the success of the writer's strike and the actor's strike, the
Tech.
special effects people,
Okay.
like the computer people, all basically formed their own union, and now they're talking about doing it. So
Well, bad for us, but good for them to get paid.
Yeah.
If it puts a damper on my movie watching, that sucks, but
I mean, they're specifically talking about places like Disney
yeah.
because they're
As
Get
they
your
breaking out
work,
with Star
dude.
Wars
As
and
they
and
should.
Marvel movies, and it's just like now do this, now do this. you know?
Uh-huh.
Either way, the boss knocks Chains down some stairs, and that's where his head gets all bloody, and he puts the gun in his face, and we get that line again. He's like, "Imagine the future, Chains, because you're not in it." And he pulls the trigger, and the gun is empty. But I'm pretty sure Chains faints.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, he does. Like,
He's like, "I'm getting the vapors."
oh! I thought it was
Well,
in
he
his
just
bullet in the
expected it
chamber.
to. He just expected it to go off, so he was ready to.
And in fairness, the boss just threw you down some stairs. You are a little concussed.
Yes.
So, yeah, he faints backwards because he saw a spider.
And then he gets arrested.
Yeah, and these cops are holding him, and
Like idiots.
yeah, like fucking idiots. Handcuff this man.
First things first, dude. You handcuff him. Second thing second, you cop a feel.
because he
I never
steals.
got copped.
You ain't Lance Henriksen.
He steals
true.
this cop's gun and points it at the boss and Richard Gant. And here comes McMurray, which of course, right? And he blows fucking Henriksen away. Like he shoots this dude off this top balcony down to the bottom floor. He's not alive anymore.
He gone.
Only the boss can fall that far.
And what
The
does he
boss
say?
and John McClane.
McMurray says,
It's a repeat line the boss
Yeah.
said to him.
"Yep,
Yep.
you got to know
Hey,
what."
hey, partner, time to turn it on.
That's right.
I mean, he's not a big tough guy or anything, but the
yeah,
line
good
works.
comeback.
It works
The
for
line
it.
works. Yeah, it's not like anybody else giving that line.
And it's a good ending because he says that, Boz just gives him this like Mentos smile and then just walks out and the credits roll.
Yeah.
But there's no freeze frame and there's no like
There is
long
a freeze frame.
Well, there is eventually.
Eventually.
But
thank you.
it's
Don't take
not,
that away
it's not
from
the
me.
long walk away. It's not the freeze frame and then credits. It's him just walking through this crowd and everybody trying to talk to him and the credits just rolling and he's just like, no, I'm used to ignoring people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice Sam McMurray has a little earring now?
Yes, he's got a little diamond.
And all I could think
Also,
of was
where did that come
Righteous
from?
Gemstones.
The BJ moment.
Yeah, I'm edgy now. I got my ear pierced.
There is one scene that I was like, oh my God, do you know who would have made that scene so much better? And it's in the Capitol, and it's just some biker we don't know. If McBride, Danny McBride, it's a guy with shorter hair.
Oh, fuck, dude. We called him out too. I was like, is that Biker McBride?
Oh yeah,
Right?
we did.
I was like, McBride would have made that better.
Uh-huh.
I looked it up. I was like, he would have been 14.
He would have been
Yeah.
young.
but
Hey, I think this club would have a 14-year-old, dude.
Yeah, they would.
well, yeah, but I
If you had
if-
5-year-olds pushing around 2-year-olds, they definitely have 14-year-old
Oh,
McBride.
those fat ones
Sufficiently
watching the little
racist.
one.
Yeah, as long
So-
as he's racist enough, I think it'll fly.
And that's the end of the, oh, wait,
And we
what's the
get-
freeze frame on?
It's at the very end of him walking away. And
Ah,
it's
it's
just
just the
freeze
boss
frames on
looking
his
cool.
face.
And we
he's
get
got
that
his jean
song
jacket open.
again. It's been the Doobie Brothers' "Dangerous" playing throughout this
Which-
entire movie.
It's just the worst.
Doobie Brothers. That's that.
Which I only know because the subtitles at the first scene told me Doobie Brothers' "Dangerous" plays.
This is a
didn't
weak
call
spot.
that.
This is a weak spot in the movie's a soundtrack.
Oh,
It's
all
just
all
not
this
as
fart rock?
rocking as it could be. Like,
Well,
it
it's
is-
91.
Yeah.
They were all.
I mean, that
these are
band-
bikers that were listening to the Doobie Brothers in the 60s, and they're still bikers.
The band in the strip club.
Band in the strip club was something. I
Yeah.
like that. That was
Did we
had
watch
a
another
look.
movie with a
Yeah.
band in the strip
Style.
club?
They were stylized.
They
I
might have
loved
been
it.
credited. It looked like they were
Yeah.
credited by their names.
I want to
It
say it was Regalia, but I could just be making that up.
Didn't we?
They all had band stage names.
Didn't we
and
watch
it's
another
like,
movie
oh,
with
those
a
were
band in
those
a strip
guys.
club? Shakedown, maybe? No. We watched some movie with a band in a strip club, or maybe I just did.
Hard Rock Zombies is kind of that whole thing.
I mean, there's the band scene in Dungeon Master, but that's not what I'm thinking of. It doesn't matter. No one cares because they already listened to that episode because they're loyal fans. I did get a little bit here. So Brian Bosworth, I guess, did a screening somewhere and told a story about like showing the movie to his son. And at the end of it, his son was just like, "Dad, you didn't really save anybody. Everybody died."
Well, you know what? He saved all the people in Florida from becoming meth heads. You're welcome,
You're
Florida.
welcome, Florida.
It worked, everybody. It worked. Operation Stone Cold was a
Mission
success.
accomplished.
Florida is sober.
But all the bad guys died too. So,
Yeah, but everybody died.
yeah.
All the
Yeah.
judges, the lawyers.
Again, judges can be
Mississippi,
replaced.
it did burn that night.
The only cops that didn't die are our three main people.
Yeah.
I think every other cop.
FBI only. Every local law enforcement.
Pretty
is
sure
gone.
the lizard died from that shake. Poor fucking monitor lizard.
So we'll go around the horn, but we're gonna go this way so the guest can go first. Bleep.
Hit it,
How do you
Bleep.
think about this? How do you think? How do you feel about this movie?
This is right up my alley. 90s, but with that 80s charm. I love it. It's just it's why it's a bad movie is because it never showed in box office. And it has those actors that we love from other things that are just kind of smaller roles, B actors,
Yeah.
but put a great performance.
Yeah.
Almost everyone owns their performance in this movie.
Almost.
Love it. Love it.
So that's a
Jack?
recommend. Jack.
Yeah, top to bottom.
Yep.
Phenomenal. Can't tell you Lance Henriksen I like more than this, to the point that I'm going to bring up a scene that we forgot. When he was doing business with the wet ass pussies, he brought him a present, and it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
fucking motorcycle helmet, and then he opened it up, and it was the head of the guy that threw the grenade.
Domichi.
And yeah, thank you. Names, of course she knows the fucking name. And I mean, it's just a guy under the table with his eyes looking up and to the left. It's so
Yeah,
fucking
it's
cool.
great 'cause it's a
Fantastic.
real head.
Great.
But yeah, everybody in this is doing exactly what I want. We talked enough about the stunts, the makeup, and just the fact that they had to improv a lot of this. Yes, I've seen it 3 times in the last year, and we're not done.
Do you need caveats?
Nope. I'll watch it alone. I'd watch it sober. I will watch it with friends. I will watch it here. I will drink it with beer. I will not take it in the rear.
I actually do give this a full recommend. I had a lot of fun watching it. I had forgotten that I watched it, a year ago with you?
Not even.
Okay, well, see?
Yeah.
But it was still like, I was like, oh yeah, oh wait, yeah, this part. And I kept getting excited and excited and excited. So I was sober I didn't drink until recording.
Okay.
So I give full recommend on this
Without
one.
any caveats.
No caveats.
Oh yeah, no caveats. Full recommend. It's an easy watch because it's just so much fucking fun.
Oh, did we talk about a runtime at all? Because it does.
92 minutes.
I was gonna say
Ooh,
it feels tight as can
sweet
be.
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing with this, like these genre films, like biker films, stuff like that. Don't make it too long. Get in, get out. Have the action. Have the explosions. Have the boobs.
I want to say the 90s was notorious for keeping it tight. The late 80s, early 90s, it was nothing over 95
those
minutes.
movies like this one was theatrical, but most of these kind of movies are video store movies. Like I said earlier, they're putting them on videotapes. They can't be over a certain amount of time. You got trailers and you got whatever.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And they're not. Companies that are putting those out aren't usually investing in high quality tapes. They have as little tape in there as they can. So
I just remember
So
that
like,
being
cut
a
it.
thing.
They're like 68 minutes. Let's do this.
Chop it
This
down.
one actually was movie bound.
that's
or,
why you can
big
find
screen
like
bound.
a few of the movies. A lot of the movies I have up here that are like video store type movies are like 80, 85 minutes because they had to fit trailers and after the thing when they had more trailers or whatever they did after the movie. But yes, full recommend. I love this movie.
Yep.
I actually, when I told you way back when I started this and I did Savage Dawn, I was telling you about it, and I said William Forsythe and Lance Henriksen. You were like, Stone Cold?
Yep.
And I was like, no, not Stone Cold, which is also awesome. So that was that long ago. At least you knew of this movie's existence.
Yeah, I don't remember the first time we watched it, but it was just an instant success for everybody sitting with us. I mean, it was just like, shut up. This is fucking fantastic. We don't need to make fun of this while it's on. Like
yeah,
we can
usually
just
it's like bullshit, drink a
Yeah,
beer.
I don't
we'll
think we
make
made
it,
fun of
maybe.
anything.
We're like,
We didn't make fun of anything
They're
while
doing the work.
doing this.
No, it's a great movie. It just really doesn't have much in the way of a story, and it, it's,
and bless it for that.
Yeah,
Honestly, you
but
don't need
that's- I think that's a
Yeah.
big part of why it's not like as well known or it wasn't as successful. It's well known now as a cult classic kind of thing, but
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. People saw it and they were like, "But what happened?" Like, well, everybody died.
Yeah. You got some really awesome Lance Henriksen talking about skinning your fucking body with a shit covered knife. That's what fucking happened.
But thank you guys for joining us this week. Don't forget to check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/worstpeople. For $3 a month, you get bonus episodes. I'll send you an email personally. There may or may not be pictures attached. Don't open them around kids. Thank you to Evasion for providing our opening and
He
closing
is not
music.
sending unsolicited dick pics.
They're paintings.
Don't tell them that. That might get people to subscribe.
Solicit.
If they subscribed, they solicited.
Yeah, read the fine print.
May receive.
But thank you to
Sorry,
Evasion.
fine print is what I call a tattoo on my penis. Because it's form.
Thank you to Evasion for providing our opening and closing music. You can find us at badmoviesworstpeople.com. Tell your friends, rate and review, all that fun stuff. Next week, we're talking about Wild Angels with Peter Fonda. I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm Jack.
Now I'm bleep.
Don't, son. That gun is loaded. All right. Is it dick time?
Yes.
That's their intro. Is it dig time? I'm Dirk.